thousands of Croats in the end to our left, and a red and white checkered banner which reads across it, "Thank you, Russia." So, one of these two anthems we'll hear again in this stadium on Sunday. It'll either be that one, or it'll be this one. Players turn and applaud the supporters who have come from, well, certainly England, but I would imagine all parts of the globe to see this, because this is a World Cup semi-final. First time England have been involved in any semi-final at a tournament since Euro 96, when the last man to kick a ball for England at that tournament was a certain Gareth Southgate, and he is now leading this team and standing in front of the dugout. The first time England have been in a World Cup semi-final for 28 years, since Italia 90, when the last Englishman to kick a ball in that semi-final is sitting next to me. Big night, Chris. Can you believe it? A World Cup semi-final.
No, I never thought I'd see it, to be honest. But yeah, let's grasp it now. It's take the occasion, rise to it, enjoy it if you can. Make sure at the end of it you get a result.
And Croatia, first World Cup semi-final for them for 20 years. Harry Kane and Luka Modric are just completing the formalities. Sunit Çakır is tossing the coin, and the ends will be decided. And Harry Kane now clasping hands with all of the officials. So the teams on duty tonight. For Croatia, Šima Vrsaljko, the right back from Atletico Madrid, is fit. He was extremely doubtful, but he has been past fit to play, a knee injury that he had, so he's at right back. Daniel Subasic, the Monaco goalkeeper, who's performed wonders really, the penalty-saving goalkeeper, he's okay, he's in the team. So Brozovic comes in for Kramaric. So it's the same team that Croatia played against Denmark in the last 16, and the same team that won so well against Argentina 3-0 in the group. So Subasic is their goalkeeper, back four of Vrsaljko, Lovren of Liverpool, Vida and Strinic. In midfield, Brozovic, with Modric and Rakitic either side of him, the Barcelona and Real Madrid men. And then Rebic and Perisic, the wide men, with Mario Mandzukic, that big game player from Juventus, up front at number 17. And the England team unchanged, with Jordan Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones and Maguire. Trippier and Young, the wing-backs. Ashley Young, who's turned 33 this week, the oldest man in the squad. Henderson, with Lingard and Ali either side. And then Raheem Sterling. And then Harry Kane up front, the World Cup top scorer at this tournament, with 6 goals. So it is Croatia against England. Thanks very much for choosing to listen to it with us on BBC Radio 5 Live. And the teams are now ready for action at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow, just a few hundred yards away really from the Moscow River itself. It's a fine evening, blue sky above, the odd cloud, high clouds, and it's quite a cool evening as well after a humid afternoon. The countdown is on, and so England kick off, one win away from a World Cup final for the first time since 1966. The ball immediately played back to Kyle Walker. Lingard gets a touch, and then the ball runs free to Rakitic in centre field, and Rakitic actually falls on the ball after he's challenged by Henderson, and then takes a quick free kick, but referee Çakır comes across and says, no, I want that taken again, and he's just looking to settle it down in the very early stages. So a free kick to Croatia that'll be taken from inside their half. Croatia in this first half, as we look high up in the second tier of the stadium here, right over the halfway line. They've given us a brilliant commentary position for this match. I guess it's probably something to do with the fact that England are involved in it and we're the BBC, or at least I'd like to think that. And Versalco has a throw-in now, right down on the touchline, almost on the halfway line. Back towards Lovren, and then across to Vida, the unmistakable Vida with that lank, thin ponytail bobbing around at the back of his hair, and then Lingard with a strong challenge on Rakitic, and referee Czechia is going to have a word with Lingard there and just say, cut it out, we're not having any of that.
Well, that's two he's done. He just him and Henderson got Rakitic just before. I had a word with Henderson and Lingard, but then he goes and bundles him over.
Targeting Rakitic?
Well, yeah, you can see that. Well, the way it started, yes.
Ball on the left-hand side with Croatia. Perisic down the left, looking to cross, but England are in good numbers there, and then Henderson across with the challenge, and the ball is deflected out of play for a throw into England, level with the edge of their own penalty area. So this is BBC Radio 5 Live. We are also tonight going live across all of the BBC local radio stations in England. So great to have you with us. You can listen via the BBC Sport app. Get in touch at 5 Live Sport. We're also on the BBC World Service across Africa. So welcome to you this evening to Moscow, and also with TSN in Canada, who've been with us throughout the World Cup here on BBC Radio. So people listening everywhere. And here's Pickford with the ball inside the England penalty area. All in yellow. Jordan Pickford passing the ball out to Harry Maguire, who's impressed so many with his World Cup, scoring the opening goal, of course, in the quarter-final against Sweden. And then Walker playing it back to Pickford, who backpedals, takes a touch, and then with his left foot drives the pass towards Young, who is challenged by Versalco, and the ball over both of them and out of play for a throw.
Exactly the start I was thinking, John. Very cautious. Both teams can't really put 2-3 passes together. Bit nerves, and nobody's settled down yet. There's nobody getting hold of the ball.
Chris Waddle, who played such an important part in the World Cup semi-final last time England were in it, also played in the World Cup in Mexico. Sir Trevor Brooking has joined us today just in time for the semi-final. He's sitting 2 or 3 seats along. We'll hear from Trevor during the course of the match. And we've got Dion Dublin as well, who's like a kid in a sweet shop, down behind the goal to our right, in front of all the England fans, down at pitch level, and we'll bring Dion in at regular intervals as well. But England playing the ball long and forward up the right hand side towards Trippier, and then Lingard falls to him, square pass to Dele Alli. Dele Alli bundled over by Modric on the edge of the D. It was an awkward challenge by the Croatia captain, sent Ali sprawling, and it's a free kick on the edge of the D to England.
Great position, isn't it? He looks for it, Dele Alli. Modric gets a little bit too tight, pushes him, slight nudge, little trip, straight down. Referee's in a good position. It is a free kick. We've saw the benefit of a replay here. What a great position. This middle of the goal, about 3-4 yards outside the D, and there's 2 of them on it.
Yeah, the usual free kick men, Ashley Young and Kieran Trippier. I keep saying, in a position like this, I'd love to see Harry Kane get a go at a free kick from this sort of position. But this is what England have decided. Their free kick men are Trippier and Young. Harry Maguire just walks forward casually and stands behind Young and Trippier, absolutely towering over them. Now it's a free kick in a great position, centrally. Luka Modric is standing right in front of the ball, while Croatia sort out their wall. Sunit Çakir, as Dele Alli wanders around in front of the wall and takes up a position as the kick takers are looking to the right of it. Harry Maguire now walks forward from the ball, and he takes up a position at the end of the wall. England taking a long while over this. Ashley Young pointing at the wall. Teammate in there, he wants in the right place. We're ready. Trippier with the free kick. Over, it's in! It's in! Kieran Trippier has given England the lead in the 5th minute. Right in the top right corner. Brilliant. He got it right on the night in the semi-final, and Trippier is mobbed by his teammates. It's Croatia 0, England 1.
Exactly, John. Say it again. What a free kick that was. Early in the game, we said they hadn't settled. Trippier just steps up. There's a wall. The goalkeeper cannot see. Harry Maguire stood in his lane with Lingard. Keeper cannot see. But saying that, Trippier, who hasn't really been outstanding on free kicks in this World Cup, just gets it over the wall. What jumps. It's a great angle. Goalie makes a desperate attempt to get near it. He's miles away from it. What a start for England.
Sir Trevor Brooking.
Unbelievable. I mean, it was a wonderful free kick. It was a good position just outside the arc, and as soon as he hit it, they all jumped and it just cleared them. Keeper had no chance. What a start.
Down at pitch level, Dion Dublin.
Oh my word, when that went in, I couldn't hear anything whatsoever. The noise from the fans behind me, not just the noise, I felt water, soft drinks, beer all over my head. It all got sprayed all over my head from this manic England support. Oh my word. Come on the boys.
Kieran Trippier, 27 years old, born in Bury, has just scored his first goal for England, and he scored it in a World Cup semi-final. Croatia coming forward, ball hoisted across, but Pickford's come a long way and he has caught it and pulled it down, and he delivers the ball away downfield for Sterling to chase. Sterling's up against Vida, and Vida goes to ground and hooks it out of play.
What a great play. Jordan Pickford, brilliant that, wasn't it? Catches it, doesn't hesitate, sees Sterling one-on-one, sets it long for his pace.
Croatia aren't back in position yet, and now the throw-in's been taken and Sterling's bursting into the box on the right, but Subasic is able to come out calmly to his left and gather the ball. Well, when we spoke to so many of the England players at St George's Park just before they set off for Russia, I spoke to Kieran Trippier, and it was clear then that he was going to be taking the set pieces, he was going to be taking free kicks. I said to him, how many free kicks have you scored in all of your career? And he said, I don't know, maybe 5. And he's just scored one.
Well, it's 6 now.
In a World Cup semi-final. Croatia 0, England 1, and they're having a party in Moscow, the England supporters down to our right. So Croatia have got to regroup here. The ball is swung forward by Brozovic, now on the left-hand side with Ivan Rakitic of Barcelona. Then to the left-hand side to Perisic, ball into the near post, it's cleared away by Walker, only back to Rakitic with the yellow flashes on his boots. Then Brozovic, who turns and plays the ball out to Perisic on the left-hand side. He's got Strinic, the left-back, if he wants to use him, but instead the cross goes deep to the back post. Ashley Young is there to chest it down, and he chests it behind for a corner. He was under pressure from Vrsaljko. Corner, Croatia.
I'll give Croatia credit, they've upped the tempo slightly, haven't they? And England have just dropped off for that. And when you score for the next 5-10 minutes, keep the tempo high, so the other team don't really get back into the game, and they've let them come back in a little bit too quickly.
Modric with the set. Big men on the far side of the penalty spot. Lovren and Vida are both up there, and Mandzukic of course as well. Modric with the out-swinging corner to the back post, a stretch by Maguire, who's claiming he was being pushed. Referee doesn't give any free kick England's way, still bouncing around in the England penalty area. Maguire heads it away to Dele Alli and played it back to Maguire, who cleared it, and then Harry Kane goes for an early ball downfield to Sterling, and important defending from Vrsaljko, who came across and got a touch. But England are threatening with Sterling already in this game as Rakitic passes the ball out of play behind Rebic for a throw into England.
Well, they're unsettled. Croatia couldn't anticipate the start they've had. England 1-0 up from a Kieran Trippier free kick, brilliant free kick, and now Croatia's really looking around. They've got up the tempo, and people say they've had odd games. They look pretty fresh to me, I've got to say, Croatia. But
Croatia, who have been taken to penalties in both of the rounds in the knockout stages of this competition, and England with Walker, they've had more of the ball in the early stages. Walker, Rakitic with a challenge there. If he'd made contact with Walker, it was late. He would have been yellow carded. Ball with Maguire inside the England half. Maguire passes it up to Dele Alli. That was fell from behind by Vrsaljko on Dele Alli. It was Dele Alli who was fouled by Modric for the free kick from which England scored the opening goal of this semi-final.
Yeah, Harry Maguire played a very straight ball there, didn't he, into Dele Alli, and he was asking for trouble. Lucky enough they got a free kick. He could have lost possession cheaply there.
Great atmosphere inside the Luzhniki Stadium as Maguire with a pass out towards the goal scorer Kieran Trippier, he heads it infield, but Croatia take up possession again, but the ball is loose and Dele Alli plays it through. This is for Lingard to chase, and it's played across by Vida to Lovren, who left-footed clears it out of play on the far side of the field for a throw-in to England. Chris Waddle.
Well, I think the tempo England's playing at the minute, they could do with getting that second goal, because they will have a spell, Croatia. They're too talented not to have a spell in this game where they'll take control of the game for 5-10 minutes and maybe 15 minutes. So great start by England, good tempo. See if they can get that second goal.
10 minutes played on BBC Radio 5 Live. The score, if you've just joined us, if you've just got back into your car and you've missed the start of the match, England are winning 1-0. Kieran Trippier scored with a free kick from the edge of the D. And Harry Maguire playing the ball away, but it comes back at the England defence. Henderson takes it down though as it deflects to him. Henderson out to the left-hand side here to Ashley Young, and Young to Dele Alli, who pokes it around Lovren, and then the challenge came in on him in centre field, and Brozovic, it deflects away behind for a corner to England. And
he's saying it was a free kick. Dele Alli, a lovely bit of skill. Rakitic has it. No, Brozovic thinks he got fouled off Dele Alli, and he's looking for the free kick, but he's given a corner, which we know England very, very good at.
Thought he had a case.
Yeah, he did.
However, it's gone England's way, and it's a corner from the left-hand side. England's first corner. So it's a set piece. England, who of course have scored 8 of their now 12 goals from set pieces. In fact, 9 of the 12 now from set pieces at this World Cup. Corner then, Ashley Young to take it, drives it into the back post. Maguire got his head to it, but he was being buffeted, and he could only, as he turned and spun in the air, head it over the top.
He's given a foul anyway.
The foul's been given anyway.
What's the atmosphere like, Dion, down there?
Oh my word, Wadler, it's absolutely electric. They haven't stopped singing behind me, these England fans. I don't know if you noticed though, chaps, when Pickford pinged that ball down the line for Sterling, about 3 or 4 of his teammates, Maguire, Stones, Walker, Trippier, all looked over their shoulder to Pickford and gave him the thumbs up. It must be something that they work on in training. It must be. They just appreciate the quality of his distribution. Have a look next time you watch.
12 minutes played of this World Cup semi-final. Croatia 0, England 1. BBC Radio 5 Live. The ball aerially back to Kyle Walker, who's able to twist and just nod it back to Jordan Pickford. Pickford bounces the ball. He's got intent written all over his body language here. He's a bundle of energy. Drops the ball on the pitch, fizzes it down, and then hits a pass up towards Dele Alli as he's challenged by Versalco, and the ball deflects out of play for a throw-in to England. Ashley Young receives it from, I think, a member of the England coaching staff down there. Back to Young, flick from him, and then a flick from Ali, back to Ashley Young. Young's ball in field, it breaks to Dele Alli on his right foot. Dele Alli now to Trippier, right side of the box. Trippier's ball across, actually hits Perisic and bounces behind for a corner to England from the right.
Great tempo England's playing out at the minute, and they seem really comfortable in the ball. That goal settled them down, and you've got yet another corner.
So it's another set piece. Now Croatia dealt pretty well with the last one. They invited the foul from England and got it. And so here we see this lineup again. England players, Harry Kane's organising them. So Dele Alli's at the front of the line, then little Raheem Sterling, then Kane, then Stones, then Maguire, all in a line. Here it is, the delivery towards the back post. Maguire gets his head to it, and it bounces narrowly wide.
Oh, great header, heads it down as well, and you just hope somebody reads it and sticks a foot out and ends up in the back of the net. It's a good header. They're marked zonal, Croatia, so they're trying to challenge the ball when it comes in wherever it is, and you just need the slightest of touch. John Stones, could he have got his foot to it? As Harry Maguire heads it down and bounces Stones. Oh, he's about 2 yards away from it, but
Vida just arrived on the scene in time, but he was nearly too late.
Yep, so far so good. England started very, very well.
Croatia 0, England 1. Let's bring Trevor Brooking in again. We've had almost 15 minutes, Trevor. So far so very good.
Well, they've been absolutely outstanding. They could easily have had a second goal. They're certainly looking to hit Raheem Sterling behind the Croatian defenders. They think they're obviously a little bit slow and that his pace will cause some problems. And you also got to remind ourselves with Kieran Trippier, if they hadn't moved Kyle Walker, Gareth, into the 3 at the back, Kieran might not have been starting in the team, and he's had a magnificent tournament at the moment.
Trevor Brooking, who played for England the World Cup in Spain. Croatia with Versalco playing the ball into the box. Perisic tried to glance it on, but he glanced it straight to Kieran Trippier, who was able to control and fire it away downfield. At the other end, Vida, just so aware of Raheem Sterling, who was right behind him.
He's worried of his pace, and he set off very quick, didn't he? He was away, trying to get a good 10 yards on Sterling.
He looked petrified, and he fell to his knees as he headed it back to Subasic. Now it's been given away in centre field by Rebic, and England are back in possession. Here's Harry Kane, who turns. Versalco arrived, and as Kane flicked it past him, Versalco bundled him over. Free kick. Kane quickly back on his feet. Free kick just over the halfway line that Harry Kane thought about taking, but instead England will just take a moment here 15 minutes played, 1-0 England lead. The England supporters, this is certainly the biggest gathering of England fans that we've seen at any of England's 6 matches at this World Cup. They are here in very good number, 10,000 maybe, maybe more. But Croatia as well, also a similar number, I would say, as England played up the right-hand side towards Jesse Lingard. Trippier's arrived as well with support. Trippier now looking for Lingard, who's to his right. Trippier's managed to play it in field towards Kane. Kane turns it behind him to Henderson, and Jordan Henderson, the England number 8, just takes a moment and then back towards Walker. Henderson again goes for the ball into the box, but he's overhit that through to Subasic, the goalkeeper, who was able to come and catch beyond the penalty spot.
Croatia want the game to slow down, John, and it's not. England's kept the tempo. I don't know how England keep the tempo up, but they've really unsettled Croatia. They can't get their passing game together. They want to dictate the pace. England's getting into the faces and getting the ball off them.
It is 1-0 to England as Brozovic plays the ball across to Vida, now of Besiktas. But as we've learnt and heard, he has long been associated with Dynamo Kiev in Ukraine. Vida. Here now Versalco on the right-hand side, Europa League winner with Atletico Madrid this season. And then back towards Dejan Lovren, who, like Jordan Henderson, played in the Champions League final in Kiev. Modric's ball over the top, which is chested down on the edge of the box. Mandzukic now picks up the ball after Perisic had the initial touch. And now Rakitic to the left-hand side. Left-back Strinic is there. Strinic up against Trippier. Back towards Rakitic. Rakitic's ball delivered towards the right-hand side here is beyond the run of Versalco. Cheers from the England fans. Ironic cheers. It's out for a throw.
Well, it was just the first time really Croatia's put 5-6 passes together. England normally let them get 2 or 3 passes, unsettle them and take the ball off them.
See Gareth Southgate now just coming to the edge of the coaching area. First time I've spotted him since the start of the match. I presume he was out there when England scored their goal. And just has a word with Harry Kane. So England with a throw, level with the edge of their own penalty area. Young takes it up the line, comes back, hooked away by Henderson. Lingard with a first-time touch, but that will bounce out of play. And a throw into Croatia. Harry Kane couldn't reach it. So Versalco just waiting with the ball above his head. Throw towards Modric, and then Dele Alli's in with a challenge to block it out of play for another throw. Let's bring Dion Dublin again from behind the goal. I think you've got a point to make, Dion, that you've spotted.
Yeah, just the back 3, the back 5, whatever you want to call them. Their distances between each other is just incredible.
Here's Perisic going for a shot, which Pickford goes down to his right. I must say, I thought he might have got a fingertip to that. I think it was going wide anyway. Perisic certainly feels he did, but it was on the blind side, if you like, of referee Czechia.
Yeah, hit Kyle Walker.
Yeah, hit Kyle Walker's leg.
That was
so
hard
it should have been a corner.
Yeah, it was hard to spot, though. The referee thinks there's no contact, does he? It doesn't really move a lot. So they got away with that one.
Yeah, should have been a corner. Croatia 0, England 1. And the ball out of play from Pickford's goal kick took a flick off the head of Rebic. So it's a free throw-in that Ashley Young will take. Just in front of the left corner as well, looking at it, of the England technical area. Takes the throw back towards Maguire. And Maguire now back towards Pickford. Pickford turning the ball to his right with his left foot, delivering it right onto the chest of Jesse Lingard. And then it's helped forward again down the right-hand side by Trippier for Sterling. Vida, the two of them went down together. Sterling went to ground, no free kick. And then Trippier slides into the challenge with Perisic, and it's a throw into Croatia. And he stayed down, has Trippier. Remember Dion Dublin. Dion said in the build-up to the match that he thought that Kieran Trippier had caught his ankle or turned his ankle, and he's just looking a little gingerly as he makes his way back over the halfway line. I think he's okay, but he does look as though he's feeling it a little bit. Croatia 0, England 1. Ball down the right-hand side, flicked on by Rebic. Comes back to Rebic on his left foot. He's away from Ashley Young, leaves him on the ground. And now the shot from Rebic. But the covering challenge, the block, came in from John Stones, who threw himself in front of the Rebic shot, and the ball's deflected away downfield.
Well, they're looking for Sterling a little bit too much now. Every time it drops, they're just hooking it behind, and Sterling's not ready half the time. He's just walking back on side. But Rebic's very unpredictable. He's had a very good tournament, but you don't know which way he's going to go, left or right. I don't think he does neither sometimes.
20 minutes played, 1-0 to England. Kieran Trippier scoring the goal in the 5th minute from the free kick. Here's Vrsaljko, who's away from Young. Vrsaljko plays it across, but it's behind everyone in a black Croatia shirt. And in fact, the ball's been collected by Harry Kane, who is bundled over in the centre circle. And there's a little bit of anger here from Lovren, who conceded the free kick. He flicked out his leg, actually, as he threw the ball down in frustration at the awarding of the free kick England's way. And now we have 4-5 Croatian players in front of referee Çakir.
He's had a funny start, the ref, though, John. I've got to say, he's missed a lot of things early on, and it is a foul. Lovren just takes Harry Kane out. That is definitely an obstruction, and Harry Kane's up now.
It's like, I mean, that was a handoff. That was a rugby handoff.
He got that one right, but he has got a few wrong.
And Lovren still in discussions. There was no yellow card. He could have been yellow carded for either that or the reaction. Dejan Lovren. England taking the free kick, but it bounces away from Sterling, and Perisic swept it back to his goalkeeper. Oh, that's badly given away to Sterling. Sterling now to Kane, who's in an offside position, and in any case shot wide. But Strinic with an awful pass. He presented it to Sterling on the edge of the Croatian penalty area.
Well, it's his right foot. He struggles with his left, to be honest, in this tournament. I've not been a big fan of Strinic. I think that's a weakness of the back four, the left back, but that was terrible clearance, and Harry Kane didn't know he was offside. He missed, but so far so good.
Almost halfway through the first half. Let's bring in Trevor Brooking again with another view on almost the first quarter of the match. Trevor.
Well, for me, it's been the best 22 minutes of the tournament. They've dominated. They've got ahead. They could have had a second. They're given problems, and interested in the games opening up there. If you look at their midfield, people like Rakitic and Modric, they're taking turns. They're having to get extra men forward. They want to try and get into the game. They don't want to stay 1-0 down for too long. So I think the game will open up, and certainly it was not going to stay 1-0.
Yeah, best 20 minutes or so for England at the tournament, Chris, given the standard of the opposition.
Yeah, they've actually got on the ball and played, and we've not really seen that. We've seen a lot of set pieces when they've scored, but actually they are competing well, yeah.
Just while Trevor was talking, Perisic had a very ambitious attempted goal from probably 30 yards that was nowhere near the target. So England are leading by 1-0. BBC Radio 5 Live. We've got a 6:06 tonight as well. Kelly Cates will be hosting that. We'll let you know in the second half when the lines are open. Get in touch as well at 5 Live Sport. Oh, well done, Sterling. Sterling away from one man on the halfway line. He goes past Villa as well, but then he slips and the ball bounces through to Subasic.
I can see where people say he does a good job, John. He's done brilliant to pick it up, but then it's, can he get your head up? Can he slow down? Can he keep the ball? Because Croatia at the minute is getting a lot of the ball. England's working ever so hard to get it back, and you just need to get a hold of it and get a bit of a breather.
Looks like the instruction to Sterling is, when you get the chance, just run at this Croatian defence. Ball with Croatia on the left-hand side, but the free kick is given against Strinic, and it's a free kick to England in their right-back position.
It's knowing when to run and when not to with it, and at the minute,
So 1-0 to England, back down to pitch level in Dion Dublin.
You know what, John, in the position that I'm in here, I can see this back three, back five working closely together. Like Stones is in the middle. When they're going down the side, the whole of the back three or the back five shuffles across the pitch, so there's no gaps. When the ball's switched over to the left wing for Croatia, they shuffle across again, and when the ball comes down the middle, they all squeeze together, so there's no gaps at all. Really well organised.
Croatia with it, but as it's headed towards Rebic, Ashley Young got there first, and it's delivered all the way back to Pickford. Pickford's ball out. Trippier with a lovely header forward down the right to Lingard, and Lingard now approaching the penalty area. Lingard ball plays it across. He played it between Kane and Ali, and actually the ball's been kept in by Modric, and he very nearly gave it to Ashley Young. But now, in fact, Rebic is away with it down the right-hand side, and Rebic has gone with an early ball to Mandzukic, which just delivered it back to Jordan Pickford.
That's where England have got to make it count, John. We'd probably say in this tournament, that's the times where you get frustrated, whether it be Sterling, this time it was Lingard. Get your head up, compose yourself a little bit, get a picture in your mind, and so many times they've been wasteful in good areas over this tournament.
So true that, isn't it? I mean, they've racked up 12 goals now at this World Cup. That's more than they scored in 1966. Ball played up towards Modric now to the right-hand side. A stretch. It's kept in play on the right-hand side by Vrsaljko. Of course, play more games now at the World Cup finals than you did back in 1966. Here's Lovren, plays it out towards the left-hand side. Strinic, just slightly thinning on top, his blonde hair, gives it to Rakitic, and now back to Brozovic. Modric with a little ball back towards the number 11, Brozovic. Strinic making ground down the left-hand side. Here's the early delivery, but it's behind Mandzukic and straight into the path of Ashley Young, who can just back away, take it down. Dele Alli plays it. This is one for Sterling to chase. He's up against Lovren, and Sterling got there first. On the left wing now, Sterling waiting for support. Well, Lovren comes in with a challenge and fouls him and gives away a needless free kick.
Well, you see already Sterling's pace. It's England are looking for it all the time, aren't they? As many times they can drop that ball in behind and asking Sterling to chase. Unbelievable pace he's got, and this time he steadied himself up, and it is a foul which gets England forward. Great area again.
Lovren simply there didn't want Sterling to run at him.
No, so he dived in, brought him down. But it's a free kick when we know already about set pieces. We keep talking about it, but they are good at them.
Yeah, 9 of the 12 goals that England have scored at this World Cup, including tonight's, which was a free kick, have come from set pieces. 1-0 to England, and here's another set piece. This out on the left wing, at a sort of 45-degree angle. We mentioned Jimmy Armfield, as Jimmy would say. I'm right behind this. Ashley Young down below, and here is the delivery from Ashley Young towards the back post. Subasic comes for it and gets a fist to it. The right fist punches it out of play on the far side.
That's a help if your keeper comes for it, because you ain't got to worry then. He's always got a massive advantage, hasn't he? So he did well there, the keeper.
Yeah, the excellent Monaco goalkeeper, who was such a big part of that exciting Monaco team last season that won the league in France. Throwing 10 yards back from the corner flag. That is taken back up the line for England towards the halfway line, and is played across towards Walker, and now all the way across the halfway line to Maguire. Maguire drags it back, little ball to Henderson, and then all the way back into the England half to Kyle Walker. 27 minutes played here on this pleasant evening in Moscow, and Jordan Pickford falling as he hits the ball downfield towards Kane. It's headed back into the England half, but Dele Alli is there using his arm. A free kick to Croatia, which is taken probably 10 yards away from where the offence occurred. Never mind. Strinic will run it forward down the left-hand side, but then there's a breakdown in communications between Strinic and Perisic, and the ball's out of play for a throw on the far side to England.
No, Rosalko and Strinic are the two spare men, really. England play very narrow. Ashley Young's playing very deep. Trippier gets back into a 5, but they can't use the ball at 2 fullbacks, so every time they're the outballs, but when it goes to them, they're losing it.
England have had a very good half hour, Chris,
yeah,
but
very good.
Croatia have had a very poor half hour.
Well, they just can't put anything together. The rhythm of the team and what we've saw in this tournament so far, that midfield just can't retain possession, and that's what they're good at.
Do you think that they've quite simply been unsettled by England?
Yeah, and England got a good start, got a goal, but yeah, they just can't get Modric in the game. Rakitic we've hardly saw. Brozovic never touched the ball for me.
Kane heading the ball on for Sterling. Sterling gets there first ahead of Lovren. Now Lovren's isolated on the right hand side. Sterling with the ball at his feet. Sterling looking for the little ball through, which he was fortunate was deflected back to him, actually, Raheem Sterling. Now it's square from Henderson. Maguire with the pass to Young, bounced off Young, and then Rebic couldn't keep it in play. Right in front of where the Croatian coach Zlatko Dalic is standing with his Roger Federer-like looks. He's got a white shirt on, glossy, gleaming black hair. Roger Federer out of Wimbledon, if you didn't hear that news earlier. Here's Dele Alli. Ali plays it across the edge of the area. Lingard controls it in the D. Now back to Kane. Kane's in. Oh, and he's shot straight at Subasic. Second chance. Hits the post. Hits the goalkeeper. Bounces out.
It's offside.
And the whistle's gone because Kane was offside.
Wow, you back to Harry Kane now. When he got the chance to put it in the net, we didn't know he was offside, and he didn't know. You'd fancy him to score. It was such an easy chance for somebody like Harry Kane. He's not offside, actually, when he picks the ball up.
Was it the next?
It might have been the next. No, he's hit the post as well. Oh, he wasn't offside. The linesman's got that wrong. But you'd fancy Harry Kane with that chance there, wouldn't you? The first chance, never mind the second one, the first one.
Trevor? Let's bring Trevor in for a word on that as well. Trevor Brooking?
Well, it worked it really well. Harry, I just wonder if he could have taken it with the left. He tried to get it on the right each time, and it was a tight angle, but the flag went up really late. It was almost as if it was for what happened as it went the other side of the goal. But so I'm not sure, in fact, that he was offside. Certainly when the original pass, they had the shot, he wasn't offside.
No, if it had ended up in the back of the net, I mean, VAR would have given that as a goal. However, still Croatia 0, England 1 is the score. And Croatia hoping to reach their first ever World Cup final. Of course, used to play as part of the former Yugoslavia until they gained independence in the early 90s. As Vrsaljko takes the ball to the edge of the area, Modric now in the box, the frail little figure of Modric now to the right hand side. Modric still in possession, dummy to cross, works it back, Rebic's ball in, sliding interception, crucial, back to Rebic, shot, straight at Pickford, who's able to stun it with his hands, kill the pace and then pick it up on the bounce.
Well, this is the best we've seen of Croatia, and it had to be Modric who was involved. A little run into the box, he really doesn't panic, looks after the ball, lovely little ball back. It's a great effort, great shot, Pickford right behind it. First we've seen of Croatia.
Croatia 0, England 1. Sterling is after the ball, but it's been shepherded back, guided back by Vida to Subasic. So Croatia will carry the ball forward towards the halfway line with Brozovic. Now on the left with Perisic. Perisic looking for the long raking pass towards Rebic. Oh, and Pickford's come a long way, was challenged, and in fact the whistle's gone for Rebic's challenge on Pickford just inside the penalty area. It was physical, it was strong, it was at Dion Dublin's end of the ground. Dion.
It's my kind of challenge, that. This is 218s, it's the battle of the 218s. Rebic going down the right hand side and Ashley Young. Ashley Young's now not sure whether to go tight or not. He looks a little bit nervous on the ball. Rebic has had the better of him so far, and in the area, I'm looking now at Jordan Pickford's area, there's lots of little bobbles, lots of little tufts of grass that I'm seeing. That I hope one of them doesn't take a bobble. He's taking a little bit too much time on the ball now, and they use him too much. Use the outfield players, don't use your keeper as much as they have.
BBC Radio 5 Live. England are winning 1-0 in the semi-final of the World Cup. The right to play France here in this stadium in Moscow on Sunday, and it would be a 4 o'clock kickoff, by the way, if you've not cottoned onto that yet. The final, a long way off that yet. Croatia coming forward, a long ball across, Rebic is after it, but Ashley Young slid in, did well actually, and just got a touch to block it behind for a corner.
Well, he gets just over the half hour mark. Normally England do come off the pace after 30 minutes, don't they, when we've watched over the years, and they're just starting to come into it now. Croatia, look, a lot of time on the ball.
Quick corner taken, England have got to be careful. It's swung over by Vrsaljko, Maguire got a touch, the referee has spotted a foul. It's a free kick to England in their own penalty area.
Well, we're allowed to take a short corner down this right hand side, won't they, and the ball comes in and pushing, and whatever happened, what England's got the benefit.
Back to Dion.
They've got to be really careful now, because what they are doing, they're holding quite a high line, the back five or the back three, and it's allowing that ball that me and the Waddler would know as the corridor of uncertainty in behind, and that really nearly paid dividends. Stones had to reach, and then the second touch from Ashley Young. Rebic was just about to strike that ball. Ashley Young stuck a toe out, and he stopped a certain goal. Just got to be careful not to go too high.
Croatia 0, England 1, and we have a little over 10 minutes to go to half-time, plus added time as well, of course. But Croatia just threatening to come back into it. Ball on the left-hand side, Strinic's cross, stretching header away, has landed on the chest of Dele Alli in front of his own penalty area. England all in white tonight, and many of them wearing white boots as well. Pickford, white-booted goalkeeper, clears it high and long over the halfway line. Vida heads it, but it's taken up for England on the right. Trippier now, the England goal scorer. Trippier with a cross, Vida heads it down, back out towards the far side, where Strinic will turn it up the line to Perisic, but Jordan Henderson was there and is able, as he looked to play it forward, turn it back towards Walker. And now once again it's back with Pickford. Again, long left-footed clearance to no one, though, in a white shirt that. Vrsaljko will play it up towards Rebic, who's holding off Ashley Young. There's that confrontation Dion Dublin was talking about. But now Harry Kane can turn in the centre circle and set off on a run, and a slip by Vrsaljko. Dele Alli's into the penalty area then. Dele Alli tees up Lingard in the D. Lingard shoots wide. It opened up for Jesse Lingard, and he puts his hands to his head, because that was a very good chance to make it 2-0.
You want to see more of this. They actually relaxed on the ball. Harry Kane goes past the players, slows up. Dele Alli stands on the ball, basically, relaxes, waits for the opportunity. Lingard at least hit the target inside the D, 19 yards out. That was a lot better, a bit more composure.
compared to the game against Sweden in the quarter-finals, when for most of that match there was no space for England because of the way that Sweden approached it. Here, England are finding space on regular occasions as they come forward. Just 1-0 though, the Trippier free kick. Been one or two promising signs from Harry Kane. Pickford clearing from the 6-yard box. It comes back over the top, but Kyle Walker, using his pace, was quickly there and turns it to Trippier. And Trippier now to Henderson. Space for Henderson halfway inside his own half. Back to Trippier. Henderson takes up a good position on the right. Curls a pass forward. Sterling's off after this. Vida again knew that Sterling was behind him and went to ground and slid it out for a throw.
I think what helps England as well, John, is that England's winning. So Croatia are chasing the game, trying to get back into it. So they're going higher and higher, and they are leaving space behind for Sterling. And if you play that ball right.
Yep. And Lingard receives the ball from the throw from Trippier on the right. Now back again to Lingard inside the penalty area. Sterling in the box on the right hand side. Sterling turning, shooting, hits Vida, bounces out to the right to Trippier. Trippier drives it across with too much pace, far too much pace, beyond anyone in either a black or a white shirt, and it's out of play for a throw.
We'll play again. Is it just? I still think they can have it. They've got more time on the ball than they actually realise. I know it's different when you're down there on the pitch; it's a lot quicker, but they have got a lot more time to put the foot on the ball at times.
BBC 5 Live. We'll have a 6:06 tonight as well. Whenever the match finishes, Kelly Kate, who will be in the Moscow studio, in the Red Square studio, will be hosting that. We'll let you know when the lines are open. It'd be great to know as well, a bit like the other day, let us know where you're listening to us tonight at 5 Live Sport on social media, or you can text 85058. 1-0 England lead, scoring the goal in the 5th minute. Stones back towards Pickford, who hesitates. Rakitic closing him down, and then Pickford clears over the halfway line. Trippier beats Strinic in the air. Lingard is there as well over on the far side. Heavy challenge on Trippier. It's played over the top down the right. Lingard will do well to reach that. In fact, he can't. And it's through, bouncing into the hoardings behind the goal. Back down to pitch level behind the goal, in front of all of those England fans and the crosses of St George. Dion Dublin.
I was right behind that chance for Lingard. I knew exactly what he was going to do. The defender blocked the centre of the goal. The left side of the keeper's goal was all empty. He tried to curl it in, put too much on it. What I have noticed down here as well, when the ball's rolled back to Pickford, the cut of the grass makes the ball go left, then go right, so he's having to concentrate on that and all those tufts of grass in his box as well. So the concentration levels are very high for Pickford.
Yes, that's that pitch prepared by the Scottish groundsman that Guy was telling us about. I hope there's been no jiggery-pokery. Throw in halfway inside the Croatia half on the far side. Of course there won't be. Here is Lovren paying it to the right to Versalco. A very proud involvement. Obviously he'll be preparing the pitch for the World Cup final itself. Modric has come short, but it's played across to Vida, and there are the whistles, by the way, for Vida, who said one or two unkind things directed at Russia. Those are the Russian fans inside the stadium. Here he is in the ball again. It's taken them a little while to cotton onto it, but they're onto it now. It's probably gathered pace on social media. Here's Versalco on the right-hand side. Versalco's ball in. It's come off Maguire. It's looped high. Rakitic is after it, but it was headed down by Walker and cleared away downfield. We have just over 5 minutes to play, plus added time to half-time in the World Cup semi-final between these two sides here. Croatia in possession in their own half. Two teams that you would say have exceeded expectations at this World Cup. And here's Strinic on the right. Strinic playing it back to Rakitic and then back to the halfway line. But of course, both only too aware of the fact that they may never have a better chance to reach a World Cup final. England have had the better of it so far. Maguire tangling with Rebic and coming out with the ball. Huge cheers for Harry Maguire down there from the England fans. And then Young, I thought he was bundled over from behind. He was by Rebic. Free kick England.
Rebic has got a quick temper, hasn't he? We've seen in all the games he's played. He gets involved and silly. He got sent off, I think, the last World Cup, didn't he? And he's very fiery. He's not. You could see in his mind there, as soon as he got up, we didn't get a free kick against Maguire. It was late on Young. Looking if we didn't catch him.
Yep, sent off against the Mexicans in Brazil 4 years ago. Croatia couldn't get out of the group at the last World Cup. In fact, this is the first time they've got out of the group at the World Cup since they famously reached the semi-final in their first World Cup as Croatia back in 1998. That amazing semi-final then involving Slaven Bilic and Laurent Blanc. England with a free kick. Maguire, high ball out towards the far side, which Trippier, the goal scorer for England, plays infield towards Henderson, but he was under pressure, so Henderson overhits the pass forward and it's out of play next to the corner flag. 5 minutes to go to half-time, slightly less than that on this still night in the Russian capital. And Strinic way over on the far side next to the yellow corner flag, with the luminous yellow flag hanging rather limply from it. Strinic takes a short throw to Rakitic. Strinic's ball is way beyond anyone in a black shirt, and Maguire can head the ball down to John Stones, and Stones turns and plays it all the way back to Pickford, who had to chest that down, and the bouncing ball is volleyed downfield by Jordan Pickford, challenged for by Harry Kane against Versalco. Comes off the England captain's head and is back into the full-back position, where Lovren will pass it very casually to Subasic. Now Lovren bringing the ball forward from the right-back position. Versalco, and suddenly we have a real lull in the game.
Well, I think England started break, got the rewards with a goal, and for half an hour England really were the better side, and they've just come off the pace slightly, England, but Croatia can't find a way through.
What's possession now on our little screen?
51,
England,
48.
52. 48. Changes all the time. Versalco's ball to Rebic. Now Modric in the centre circle. Modric to the left-hand side. Strinic has joined the attack. Here's his cross into the penalty area. A stretching header away by John Stones. Seen little or nothing of Mario Mandzukic as the central striker. Of course, we've watched him for Juventus. More familiar now with him as the left-sided forward. Shot from way out from Versalco, and cheers from the England fans. That was sliced away high and wide and into the England.
They're lacking ideas, aren't they? They get wide, the quality of cross is poor. There's only one in the box at times, then they come back to the right, and I mean that's just a loose shot. More frustration than anything. Let's
bring in Trevor Brooking again for a few thoughts on how things stand as half-time approaches. Trevor?
Well, it's been an excellent half. My only concern is the chances that Lingard and Kane had were two great chances, and if you could have got the second goal then, which probably their play warrants in this opening 45 minutes, but at the moment you've got to say they've done great.
Kane glances it to Sterling. Lingard's involved, but then Rakitic dispossesses Raheem Sterling just outside the D. However, Croatia come back in field with Perisic, who had to be quick there because Sterling closed him down, but he was able to work it back towards Subasic. Now to Versalco. Obviously now in this position, England want to get them in at half-time with this scoreline, at least as it is now, 1-0. Dele Alli's actually going to take the ball away down the left-hand side. Dele Alli still going, and then Lovren slides across and slides it out of play for a throw-in.
That's not a bad thing. Get us up the field, getting towards half-time, 1-0 up. Throw in, slow the game down.
The ball tossed back by Dele Alli to Ashley Young. 5 live, Croatia 0, England 1, and Young just waiting and waiting. No hurry here, England. Sterling has a little trot across, but Sterling turns and makes his way back towards the penalty area. Lingard's there as well. The Croatian players saying to the referee, are they ever going to take this throw? They do. Dele Alli now carry Kane. Kane slices a pass. It's behind Trippier, so his Tottenham clubmate has to turn and play the ball back towards Kyle Walker on the halfway line. Now Jordan Henderson, and the Liverpool captain plays it across the halfway line towards Harry Maguire of Leicester. His pass back towards John Stones. A little bit of hesitation between Walker and Stones. Pickford has to drive it away, and all he's done is give it back to Croatia. And Rakitic now looping the ball into the penalty area. This is danger for England. Rakitic is still there, but Walker does very well. And then Stones comes across and volleys it out of play for a throw.
Well, no risk coming to half-time. Listen, now has to go in the stand. It goes in the stand. You can't play all the time.
45 minutes are up. 1 minute of added time. England are winning 1-0. Kieran Trippier's
free kick,
and a free kick to Croatia out on the far side. So this will probably be the last action of the first half. Luka Modric has made his way over there to deliver it, just puts his foot on the ball. Luka Modric, serial Champions League winner, with the serial Champions League winning Real Madrid. He'll no doubt be asked by the world's media all about Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, after the match tonight. I bet he's looking forward to that. Modric waiting to deliver this in with his right foot. England have got to defend the set piece here. They've already scored from one early in the half. There won't be long to play after this is delivered in by Luka Modric. England holding their line just inside the box. Here's Modric to deliver it into the 6-yard area. It's headed away. It comes out to the edge of the box. Rakitic shoots. It's deflected back out to Modric. Modric in the area on the left-hand side. Modric onto his right foot, shoots. But as he did so, he slipped. And England actually played away to Sterling. And the half-time whistle goes. And England lead at the break in the World Cup semi-final by 1-0. Chris Waddle.
Brilliant first half for England. They get the goal. Great free kick by Trippier. But you've got to say, overall, the 45, 46 minutes, England have shaded it for me. They've been the better side. Had 2 or 3 great chances, and really you wish it just took another one, as it will get hard as the game goes on.
Croatia clearly are unhappy with some of the decisions that they feel have gone against them. Lovren is complaining to referee Czechia. Actually, they're checking. We're seeing here on the screen that the VAR official is checking for a possible foul and a possible penalty. Now the players are leaving the field, but the check is over. The check is over. The Croatian players are waiting, but referee Czechia clearly has said, yeah, it's checked. It's not a penalty because he's leaving the field. They must have told him. So that little mini scare is over. The Croatian players are still standing there. Modric and Rebic and Mandzukic. It's almost as if they're thinking, can it still be overturned? But it can't. They're leaving the field. And at half-time, it is Croatia 0, England 1. And Mark Chapman is here with us inside the Luzhniki Stadium. Trevor Brooking as well, and Dion Dublin. Mark.
Do you think they only appear to look at that from a distance, whereas maybe it ought to have had a bit of a closer look? I mean, it did look like Harry Maguire might have had an arm round Lovren there. Yeah,
but the trouble is, they're all in the change room. What are they going to do, bring them back out?
Well, it happened in Germany, didn't it? Towards the end of the season. It happened in a German Cup game, I think.
But they said here, the way that VAR is being used, that if the players have left the field, then it cannot be brought back.
Right, you need to run off as quickly as possible then, don't you, when the half-time whistle goes. But that discussion actually on just on the VAR at the end shouldn't disguise, Trevor, what has been one of, if not England's best 45 minutes of the tournament.
Yeah, my frustration sitting here is that I think they deserve to be a couple up. I think Croatia can do better. They've had a couple of moments. I think Rubic, the number 18, is actually their most dangerous player. Once or twice Ashley has struggled a bit with him over this side, so that's a concern. But England going forward have done well. Just about the last 10 or 15 minutes, what Croatia did, they started to press Jordan Pickford to kick long quickly and not give him time. So they're wasting a lot of energy doing that, but they weren't comfortable with him biding his time and picking out great balls for our attacking players. So they tried to pressurise him. But at the moment, you've got to say, if at the start of the game, we're in a great position. I just think the quality of the play deserves a second goal.
Dion, you've had a great view throughout that first half of the battle between Ashley Young and Rebic.
Yeah, Rebic did get the better of Ashley for the majority of that half, but then Ashley he decided to go tight, not let him have the ball, and he got the better of Rebic in the last sort of 10-15 minutes. Better decisions as well. What Croatia are doing is they're allowing England to have the ball in this back 3, back 5, and they're forcing them to go back to the goalkeeper, to Pickford. And what they're doing is they're actually squeezing Pickford as fast as they possibly can, cutting off both of the fullbacks and making England rush. So Trevor just said it just there. I don't think we need to be using the keeper as much as we are. They're putting all the divots back as we speak right now.
They're working hard on that area, aren't they?
Yeah, there's about 10 forks in the 18-yard line, putting all the divots back. But if they can, they just have to play a little bit quicker, a little bit neater, and don't put your keeper under so much pressure.
Chris, we had a text from Sam on that as well. Great performance, just wish they would stop passing back to Pickford so much they might get caught out.
But it's how they play. They've trained Jordan Pickford to use his feet well to become a player as much as anything. So, yeah, I still think when we get further up the field, we can look after the ball a bit better. Whether it be Sterling, Kane, back to Lingard, back to... as soon as we get over the halfway line, it's like, let's go for goal straight away. And we lose it a couple of times, and yeah, we've had a couple of good chances. just sometimes just put 5 or 6 passes together and wait for an opportunity in their half. If we can't go direct or try and get somebody through, we go back into our half, then it's going to go back to Pickford, and we don't want that all the time.
Sean, I've only just thought of this, but Kieran Trippier has joined a list of England goal scorers in a World Cup semi-final that consisted of only Sir Bobby Charlton and Gary Lineker, and he'd never scored for England before. What a time to do it. 85858 hashtag BBC World Cup. A couple of people, Sam and Steve, wondering that maybe Danny Rose should come on for Ashley Young, and DJ being very positive, England looking composed and confident. A joy to behold. They lead Croatia by a 1-0 here in the Luzhniki Stadium. A Kieran Trippier free kick after just 5 minutes. The second 45 on the way, but it's been a dramatic men's quarter-final day at Wimbledon, and our correspondent Russell Fuller can round up the action.
And it's still going on centre court. I didn't detect even a murmur of celebration when Kieran Trippier scored that goal for England. That's because the crowd here are engrossed in Rafa Nadal against Juan Martín del Potro for a place in the semi-finals. Nadal has won the 4th set by 6 games to 4, so we're into a decider, and after 3 hours and 49 minutes, it is 1 game all. Novak Djokovic will play the winner. He beat Kei Nishikori in 4 sets earlier, and Roger Federer is out, losing the deciding set by 13 games to 11 to Kevin Anderson, who will play either Milos Raonic or John Isner. Isner's just taken the 3rd set 6-4. To lead by 2 sets to 1 as the centre court crowd go crazy. Del Potro's flat on his face, but he's still fighting hard with this 5th set very much in the balance and a place in the semi-finals on the line.
Sports Extra, if you want to listen to that. 8 minutes to 8 o'clock. Let's get the latest BBC News.
On digital, online, smartphone and tablet, this is BBC 5 Live.
With the 5 Live News, I'm Liam Smedley. The first pictures of the boys rescued from the flooded cave in Thailand as they recover in hospital have been released. In the video footage, several can be seen in face masks and gowns. At least one is giving the victory sign to the camera. President Trump has called on NATO allies to commit 4% of their annual output to military spending. At the start of the summit in Brussels, he clashed with Germany's Chancellor Merkel over Berlin's spending on defence. The government's committed an extra £5 million to help South Wiltshire recover after the Novichok poisonings. It comes as police have been able to speak to Charlie Rowley, who's regained consciousness since he came into contact with the nerve agent. And Gary Lineker has overtaken Chris Evans as the BBC's top-paid star, earning over £1.7 million in the last financial year. The top 12 consists of all white men, despite the corporation's efforts to close its gender pay gap.
BBC 5 Live.
Wherever the story is, we are there. On the ground, 24 hours a day.
This is it, the 2018 FIFA World Cup.
Lingard plays it into the back post. Dele Alli heads it in. It's 2-0 to England.
Live from Windsor this morning, you are listening to all the build-up to the royal wedding.
2 young people fell in love, and we all showed up.
We hear reaction to the biggest breaking stories from around the world.
The rescue plan that they put into action this morning can actually work.
19 elite divers went in once again on this gruelling mission.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live. We speak to the biggest guests.
Mr. Noel Gallagher.
Russell Crowe's on the programme.
Cara Delevingne. Eric Cantona.
And most importantly, you.
The atmosphere is absolutely amazing.
I'm so happy now.
There's just been absolutely no movement.
It transcends anger. They actually did this.
Live, unpredictable, unmissable.
This is BBC 5 Live.
Live from Russia, this is 5 Live Sport with Mark Chapman.
Now it's a free kick in a great position, centrally, and Kieran Trippier taking a long while over this.
How many free kicks have you scored from over the years?
To be fair, I've not really scored many. I'd say about 5 or 6. A couple in the Championship at Barnsley and Burnley, really.
We're ready. Trippier with the free kick. Over, it's in! It's in! Kieran Trippier has given England the lead in the 5th minute. Right in the top right corner. Brilliant. He got it right on the night in the semi-final. And Trippier is mobbed by his teammates.
So that's Barnsley, Burnley and Moscow in a World Cup semi-final. There are his free kick successes, Kieran Trippier. Loads of stats flying around. Some you might take as positive signs, others you might not. Trippier's goal, the 4th fastest ever to be scored in a World Cup semi-final. The quickest since Vava scored in the 2nd minute for Brazil against France in 1958. England have now got 12 goals at this World Cup. That's more than they've ever scored in a single World Cup campaign before, beating the record from 1966. Croatia have been behind for 40 minutes in this game before tonight. They'd only trailed for 11 minutes at this World Cup. And here are a couple ones which might point England in the right direction. Hope by reading them out I don't curse this, but anyhow. England haven't lost a World Cup game in which they've scored first since the 2002 quarter-final against Brazil. And only once in World Cup history has a team leading at half-time in a semi-final failed to reach the final. And that was Italy in 1990. Trevor Brooking and Chris Waddle alongside me. Dion Dublin is pitch side. What do England need to do in the second half? But just more of the same. If they get a chance, take it this time, show a bit more composure.
Yeah, if they can keep creating the chances, and if you can get the second goal, because on occasion they've got that quality in midfield, Croatia, and they've had a couple of near misses, and you just think they've got to be better in the second half. They will create an opening and could score. So I still think England might need the second goal. I think we mentioned about the pen. And Harry Maguire was doing a bit of tugging. I got to say, Lovren in the first half had 2 terrible challenges which should have both be yellow cards, and he's the one who's winding up the referee to get Harry Maguire or get the pen. He should have definitely been yellow carded.
He is lucky not to have had a yellow card, Chris. Well, I suppose, as you said in commentary as well, the positive for England, as well as being 1-0 up, is that Croatia are going to have to come on to them, and that will help England maybe.
Yeah, the longer the game goes, obviously there'll be more gaps for Sterling to use that pace, and Kane can get in good little areas, and they're going to get a lot of times they're going to get one-on-ones, and so it's up to them. It's as we keep saying, it's use the ball well in them areas, and if you get your chance, the minimum you should be doing is hitting the target. They've carved out some great chances, and really they could have went in with this game finished.
Lots of people have been texting us, telling us where they're listening to us this evening around the world. So hello to Stu and Ali, who are sitting on the floor in Crete Airport. Come on, lads, let's see this through. Dream is alive, bring it home. The McBurney family are listening to us as they cross the desert en route to Los Angeles. Come on, England. Our producer looks confused about that. I don't know why, but they're out in Los Angeles, they're listening to us. Hello to the group of Year 6 pupils from West Ashted School who are huddled around a radio in deepest, darkest Shropshire. They're on a residential school trip. There's limited internet and no television. The teachers spent most of yesterday testing radios in various different locations. Well done, teachers, but I bet the kids were mightily annoyed there wasn't a telly around for a World Cup semi-final when they're in Year 6. But hello to the West Ashted School pupils there. Grace and her dad are listening from the dad's lorry at a truck stop out in Sweden. Vanessa listening on a train from London to Barnstable as she's working there tomorrow. Phil and Ruth have a beautiful view of the Pyrenees at the moment and are listening to us. David and Jeff and Bill are listening intermittently on the sleeper train from Warsaw to Vienna, and they're going to watch the final in Prague. And Si, not as glamorous, not listening around the world, but simply in West Berkshire whilst delivering Indian food. Plenty of Vindaloos being delivered this evening, says Simon. Thank you for the great commentary. Dion Dublin, more of the same in the second half?
Yeah, just got to be a little bit tidier at the back. I think they've been a little bit high as well. There's been a few balls that have gone in behind the back three, back five of England, and they have panicked slightly. Jordan Pickford coming into play. And they've just got to keep an eye on Modric. For me, he's getting too much ball now. He's starting to dictate this game. And Rakitic as well, coming in from the left. He's looking to get that ball from his left foot on his right foot. He's looking to shoot every single time he gets it. Rakitic on that left-hand side, drops his shoulder, looks to come inside. It gets blocked quickly by Walker because he's defending well. But we've got to keep an eye on their two main players.
And when you have a goalkeeper whose distribution is as good as Jordan Pickford's, is there a tendency to become over-reliant on him?
Maybe a little bit comfortable, Chappers, yet maybe you think, well, he can handle this and he can handle that. There was a ball that came back from Walker in the right back spot, and it was, if he'd have made a mistake, it would have gone in. You're supposed to play your back passes not towards goal, either side of goal, just in case there is a mistake. But they've got away with it so far. I don't want to see him as part of the outfield play as much as I have. Be a goalkeeper more, be less of a footballer. As good as he is, Chappers, I don't want that ball near England's goal. Get it in the midfield, play like you did in the first 15 minutes. More of the same for sure, Chappers.
The Croatian players came out around the time of the referee, and for the last minute, maybe a combination of Rebic and Perisic and Modric and Mandzukic have all been talking to the referee, pointing towards the penalty area that they are defending in this second half. So you would imagine still asking why that penalty wasn't given or why the VAR wasn't investigated more. England only now just coming back out. Why are you looking at me quizzically, Chris Waddle?
I wouldn't have given it anyway. They walked off the pitch, didn't they?
I know, but they're not letting it go. Is my point.
Well, they're not going to get it, are they?
No, they're not.
They may get the next one.
Well, maybe that's what they're trying to do.
He may feel guilty and give him another one.
Thumbs up from Trevor Brooking that that's maybe what they're trying to do. John Murray, all yours.
In that case, England have just got to be careful then, haven't they? So 1-0, Croatia 0, England 1. Those two semi-finals that we've talked so much about in the 90s, Euro 96 and the World Cup in Italia 90, they both finished 1-1, remember? In 96, Alan Shearer gave England an early lead in the 3rd minute. Stefan Kuntz equalised for the Germans, so that finished 1-1. In 1990, it was 0-0 at half-time before the Germans took the lead through Andy Bremer, and Gary Lineker scored a late equaliser in that one to make it 1-1. So 1-0, as that history will tell us, means that this semi-final is still very finely poised. Croatia get the second half underway. In the second half, England, who are all in white, playing from left to right as we look against the Croatian team with the black shirts with the red trim, black shorts, red socks, and Croatia, neither team making substitutions. And here is Rebic, who's appeared on the left-hand side. Strinic now taking it up. Back to Rebic. Rebic slipping it between the legs of Henderson, but there was covering challenge there from Walker behind, and Walker thrashes it away downfield. So the teams, Croatia with Subasic in goal, back four of Versalco, Lovren, Vida and Strinic. In midfield, Brozovic with Modric and Rakitic centrally. Rebic and Perisic wide with Mandzukic up front. And England, same team as in the previous two rounds in the knockout stages. Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones and Maguire. Trippier and Young, Henderson, Lingard, Ali, Sterling and Harry Kane, as the ball is missed on the edge of the England penalty area, and then Trippier is fouled and it's a free kick to England. Has Rebic stayed out on the left hand side?
Yeah,
he has.
Yeah, he swapped the wingers, but they've started brightly actually, Croatia. They've come out, they've moved the ball quickly. England getting good shape behind the ball, but not pressing as high as they did first off.
So Croatia 0, England 1. England leading through that excellent, that fine Kieran Trippier free kick. It was on the edge of the D. He curled it superbly over the wall, under the bar, into the top corner, top right corner in the 5th minute. Here Lovren heading the ball away out towards this left-hand side, where Strinic sends one high and long. Walker is beaten in the air, but I think might have been caught either by an arm or by a head. Actually, a yellow card is going to be shown.
Mandzukic kicking the ball away.
Mandzukic kicked the ball away. Down to the pitch side, Dion Dublin.
I think Rebic there has led with his left elbow. I think he had a quick look over his shoulder. He's seen Kyle Walker just about to leap, and I think he just led with his left elbow, because Kyle Walker went straight down, holding the right side of his face. He's caught him there, definitely caught him.
You've got lots of things down there, Dion, and I notice, I've been watching you, lots of company. And,
yes, lots of company, lots of fans back here. They've been singing my name, which is very, very kind of them. They remember my 4 caps. Thanks, lads.
But
thumbs up, get a thumbs up and all sorts.
You haven't got a telly. We've got televisions up here, and VAR are telling us that they are checking for possible mistaken identity. So Lovren was Mandzukic was yellow carded. I'm like you, Chris. I thought that In fact, it has been changed to Rebic. The screen tells us that it is actually Ante Rebic who has been fouled for leading with his... He didn't catch him with his elbow, actually. He caught him with his hand, I think.
Well, he could get sent off. That's the way he plays. And he gets more and more frustrated as the result stays as it is, 1-0 to England. So he will get more and more frustrated.
That's the first yellow card of this semi-final. Croatia 0, England 1. England looking to reach a first final since 1966. You surely must know that. And Croatia have never been in one of the big finals. Throw in for England, just in front of where the Croatia coach Zlatko Dalic, who actually took over in very similar circumstances to Gareth Southgate, in that he took over initially as an interim coach and then ended up with the job on a permanent basis. Former assistant to the under-21 side. Harry Kane is challenged by Vida, who bundles him off the pitch. The ball was already out for a throw-in. Kane's okay, he's back up. Disappeared from our sight for a moment as he thumped into the hoardings, and but up he gets, and he's back on the field, the England captain. Throw-in that is taken up the line by Strinic. Header forward by Dele Alli, and Strinic now being put under pressure by Harry Kane. Strinic looked as though he wasn't sure where to go with that, and he's cleared it away, and it's hit Kane. And now Lingard. There are men back in numbers for Croatia though, and they have it back. Strinic plays it forward, took a deflection. Mandzukic heads it straight to Kyle Walker, who plays it back to Pickford. Being closed down by Rebic, and Pickford quickly gets rid of it with his left foot up towards Kane, who's actually delivered it straight to Rakitic. Now Brozovic clips a pass out to the right hand side to Vrsaljko, who certainly hasn't seemed to be in any discomfort with the knee injury that was threatening to keep him out of this semi-final. Vrsaljko back towards Lovren. Raheem Sterling quickly on the scene, so Lovren plays it back to the goalkeeper at the other end. Cagey stuff at the start of the second half. 5 minutes played, and it's still 1-0 England. We'll let you know when the lines are open for 6:06. Long one here for Rebic now to chase down the left-hand side. Walker's with him, and Walker, as the two of them jockeyed together, sees the ball behind for a goal.
So
kick.
far so good. Croatia just haven't really got any idea how to break this England team down, and they're not passing the ball quick enough. There's no rhythm about them, which we've saw so far in this tournament. England very comfortable.
Goal kick. Pickford to take. John Stones and Jordan Henderson just exchanged a few words there outside the penalty area, waiting for Pickford to strike this downfield. Trippier gets his head to it. Strinic is hoping it's going to roll out of play. Lingard got there though, and Strinic's clearance has been blocked. Harry Kane might have been bundled off the ball there by Brozovic. Referee says no. Maguire comes across, he gets a touch to it. Maguire's coming forward but plays the ball to Kane, who is coming back from an offside position, and the ball just rolls harmlessly out of play for a throw-in to Croatia. Hasn't really got going, has it, in the second half?
No, England haven't pressed as high. They are at the minute, obviously quite high at the moment, but since the kick-off they've been good shape behind the ball, saying to Croatia, come and break me down, and they haven't got an idea at the minute.
Those England supporters, I'm looking down to our right. We're up in the top tier here of the Luzhniki, and we're watching. There are quite animated sections of the England fans behind the goals. There's been a real rush for tickets, and thousands of them have got here to the Russian capital and are watching time tick down, with England leading in the semi-final. Modric though passing the ball to Strinic. Strinic managed to work it to Rebic. Walker in with a sliding challenge to put it out of play. It's a throw in. Rebic, or is it given as a free kick? No, it's a throw in.
No, it's a throw in. England just wasting time.
It's ball's just been dropped by Trippier on the ground, so it has to be returned by Strinic to Strinic, who takes the throw, and now to Rebic, who's going to curl it in towards the back post, but way beyond Perisic, way beyond, and it bounces on the full, actually, out for a goal kick to England. 1-0 England lead.
I just can't get anything going, Croatia, which is good news for England. They're not really having to work so hard to get the ball back. They're getting behind the ball, good shape about them, and they can't get Modric in the right areas and Rakitic in the right areas on the ball.
Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland be happy with the way that England are playing at the moment?
Yep. Well, I think he'd like them to keep the ball a bit more, and when they do get it.
Here is the England captain, Harry Kane, with the ball on the left-hand side, trying to find a way between Vrsaljko and Lovren. And, he's left on the ground, and Croatia are able to clear it. Dele Alli, though, his attempted pass was cut out, and Croatia have got it back. It's sliced straight out of play for a throw-in by, of all people, Luka Modric. And there's an announcement in the stadium now explaining that when it appeared to all of the fans inside the ground that Mandzukic had been yellow carded, that in fact it's now been explained that it is a yellow card for Mandzukic. So it's not Rebic, it is Mandzukic who was booked. So Rebic has got away with the
elbow
on
and he
Walker.
kicked the ball away, Mandzukic, and he got the yellow card.
Mandzukic kicked the ball away.
Don't worry, Rebic will get booked.
England have lost possession on the halfway line. John Stones was dispossessed, so it's a Croatian attack down the left-hand side, but Walker is across and gets to the ball. Walker has ended up on the seat of his shorts. Walker has picked up the ball, and now Rebic has come across and grabbed the ball from Kyle Walker, and referee Chakia is showing a yellow card to Kyle Walker for holding the ball, keeping it.
Well, he can't do it. I don't know why he's doing it. Just drop the ball and drop it on the 18-yard line, whatever down the side, but just don't keep hold of it.
England's first yellow card of the semi-final. Remember, all of the yellows were wiped for the semi-final. So Kyle Walker's previous yellow has won a corner. And Kyle Walker's disputing this as well. Jesse Lingard's disputing.
Lingard's saying it's not.
Corner to Croatia. England have got to be careful here. Concentration needed. Croatia looking to take a quick corner. And remember the warning before half-time. So here's the delivery from Rakitic, which is headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box. The referee has seen a push by Croatia. It's a free kick to England.
I didn't see it. Maybe around the camera zoomed into Maguire. I think who headed it, didn't he? But
this referee, Sunit Chakia, is absolutely red hot on this. I get the impression that he prides himself in spotting it before VAR.
I don't think he's been that good tonight, and I'm a big fan of him, I've got to say.
But in the penalty areas.
Yeah, Lovren and Maguire, so he gives it England's way that time, the free kick. But
10 minutes played in the second half. Croatia 0, England 1. And the clock is continuing to tick down as Sterling plays it back to Lingard, who hits a shot which is deflected by Lovren. Up and over the crossbar for a corner to England.
Very direct, straight up in the air, and Kane flicks it on. Little layoff by Sterling, good layoff in fact. Lingard 2 touches, gets his shot blocked.
So England with only their third corner of the match, and we know how dangerous they can be. So do Croatia. Croatia at this World Cup, 4 of the 5 goals that they've conceded at this World Cup have come from set pieces. Trippier to take this, so we've got 2 lines of 3 this time for England, who are lining up, one in front of the other. Here's the delivery from Trippier towards the back post, but doesn't find Maguire this time. A rare bird, headed away by Perisic, chipped over the top by Walker. Trippier drives it across into the 6-yard box, a diving effort from Kane, but it was blocked by a defender, and Croatia have been able to get it away, and Walker and Young will see it back to Pickford.
That was a great ball by Trippier. He's playing full of confidence, isn't he? As Walker chips it over to him, he just side foot volley, asking questions in the box, and they clear it. Croatia just.
Harry Kane has headed it forward. Now Trippier. Kane's here on the right wing. Trippier now tried to dink it over the top, and he got it all wrong, so it was headed away by Vida on the edge of the area. Now Croatia look to break away down the left-hand side with Rebic. Rebic is up against Kyle Walker. Step over from him, then checks back. He's got Mandzukic available on the left wing. Mandzukic plays it in field, and that just gives it back to England. Henderson, now Dele Alli to Sterling. Sterling in the centre circle. Now Dele Alli looking to find that ball forward. It was deflected though. And as a result, Croatia have got it back. So this is 5 Live, BBC Radio 5 Live. We will let you know when the lines are open for 6:06, and you can join in after the match to discuss whatever unfolds in the remainder of this semi-final. Dion Dublin down at pitch level. Sir Trevor Brooking with us here in the commentary positions, watching Croatia come forward. Strinic now on the left side of the box, but his ball across is blocked by Stones. Comes out to Rakitic. Rakitic curls it beyond the far post, but Maguire was in position to head it away. And now it's deflected out of play by Lovren for a throw into England, halfway inside their own half. So let's get a word from Trevor Brooking with... Well, we're not far short of the hour mark now, Trevor. What are you thinking?
Not totally happy. I think England have started a bit low-key this second half. We haven't been stretched too much by them, but we haven't kept the ball as well as we have, other than that shot just now, Jesse Lingard, which got us a corner. I don't think we're playing as well this second half. So we've just got to try and get back, keep the possession. But at the moment, I think Croatia are beginning to get on top.
Croatia supporters are roaring their team on. They're attacking actually towards the massed ranks of them, Croatia, in their red and white checked livery, all sorts of shirts, hats, scarves, you name it. Here's Modric. Modric now up against Dele Alli. That's Tottenham against former Tottenham. Now here's Rebic on the left-hand side. Rebic's ball into the box is sliced behind by Kyle Walker, who's looking to volley it away, but he's volleyed it behind for a corner.
Just a side foot volley, that you still get good distance on it.
Anxious time this for England, Chris?
Well, I think Croatia's getting a lot more time on the ball, a lot more possession, but they're not hurting England, that's a good thing.
Chris Waddle, 62 caps for England. We're watching down on Modric, who's going to take this corner from the left-hand side. England have to defend this set piece. Here comes the delivery. Pickford comes, gets a punch on it. Good punch as well out of the penalty area towards Sterling. Sterling, who's being very tightly marked, plays the ball to Lingard. Lingard could have been away, and the free kick's been given to England, and referee Chakir has brought it back, and there was a little bit of frustration. Lingard's involved, and Lingard has a look towards Lovren, which of course is Liverpool, Manchester United.
They're getting frustrated, aren't they, Croatia? And they've got to watch, they've got to try and focus on the game. It's Lovren again who gives it away. Well, it's all good for England. It slows the game down.
Breaking up the game, Pickford, the free kick. This one is delivered high out towards the right-hand side, where Trippier gets up really well and heads it infield. Cleared away though towards the halfway line. Lingard, as Rebic played it infield. Lingard was able to take it, but Croatia have it back. Rakitic plays it to Modric. Modric now towards the right-hand side, where it'll be taken forward by Vrsaljko and Perisic together down that right flank. Vrsaljko now on the overlap. Perisic wants it back on his left foot. Perisic's left-footed cross towards the back post. Trippier was there to head it away. It comes out to Rakitic, who swings a left foot at it and hits it well wide of the goal for a goal kick to England. 1-0 England lead.
Well, they're getting a lot more ball, Croatia, but they're not using it very well, are they? And that's a poor shot by Rakitic, and for all of the getting the ball, and we expect them to do a lot more on it because they've got a lot of talent in their side, but so far it's all good for England. They're wasting possession every time they get it.
Into the last half hour, Chris.
Cruising. I know they're getting the ball in England, little bit pushed back slightly, but they're not hurting. England still carry that threat, but I'd just like to see England get the ball down with Henderson and Lingard and Ali in the wing back. Just keep the ball, move the ball, have 6, 7, 8, 10 passes. We've not put 2 passes together second half.
Poor match actually in the second half. 1-0 to England though. Never mind the quality, feel the Trippier free kick. Modric rolls a pass to the right hand side. Vrsaljko, and then awful ball back from Perisic, which is way beyond Vrsaljko, who applauds it in an attempt, I think, to try and raise some sort of spirit among Croatia, but he was never going to reach that in a month of Sundays, and it's a goal kick to England. And we have played 61 minutes. 61 minutes away from a World Cup final. Down to pitch side, Dion Dublin.
You know what? They're not quite sure how to mark Harry Kane, Vida and Lovren. Lovren's getting frustrated, taking it on the smaller players. If we can get players beyond Harry Kane, when he flicks it on, there's a goal there for us. Sterling's got to stay closer to Harry Kane, and then we've got another chance. I think Sterling could get his goal today, I really do.
Oh, Dion, I've been saying that for months.
But he could.
It will come though, I'm damn sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. He's not scored in his last 24 England appearances, Raheem Sterling, but it's going to come sometime. Me and Dion say it. Chris, no comment from Chris.
Every game.
I know I have.
2 years now.
Yeah. Throw in to England. Trippier is going to take it to Lingard. Lingard, 2 Croatian players with him. They shove him, but he takes the ball right to the corner flag, holding it up there. Then it's cleared away, poked away, won back by Henderson, who claims that he was being fouled. No free kick given. Henderson now plays it through to Sterling. Sterling in the penalty area. The angle's very tight. Sterling still going down. Was he caught there by Vida? No, he's back up on his feet, Sterling. He stumbled, went down, the challenge came in, and Croatia will play it away. And now a little ball from Mandzukic in field. Walker's got to use his pace, but he did there. He really dug in for the sprint. Walker beat Mandzukic and then plays it back to Pickford, who's able to clear it, and it's out of play. Jesse Lingard was actually nudged out of the way by Rakitic, but it's the throw into Croatia. 1-0 England lead.
Yeah, so far so good. There's a replay we've got Sterling.
What do you
gets
think?
alongside of him. No. Goes down too early, Sterling.
So it is Croatia in possession. 78,011 people around us inside Moscow's Luzhniki Stadium. Strinic crossing from the left, cleared away by Walker. Strinic allows it to bounce out of play. Honestly, I will tell you when the lines are open for 606. Oh, they're open! So I'll tell you the number in a minute. Here's Strinic, plays it back towards Rakitic. 08085 909 693. It's a night you might have want to be involved in 606. Here's Versalco on the right hand side crossing, but Young's able to take the ball down comfortably under no pressure, and Young now racing away with the ball, uses Kane on the left hand side, who hits it forward. Sterling through the middle. Sterling closes down Subasic, who lifts the ball away towards Strinic on the left hand side. Strinic struggling under pressure from Lingard. Strinic has given it straight to Trippier. Trippier's ball in field, took a deflection. Rakitic now finds Modric. This is all in the central third of the field. Brozovic passes it forward towards Modric. Modric now, who's not really been involved too much in an advanced position, the Croatian captain. Here is Modric now again in the full-back position. This is dangerous for England. Modric's cross, stones away, comes out, the shot driven by Perisic, it's blocked, and then it's cleared away, scraped away for England by Henderson, kept in play by Strinic. Perisic with that shot that was blocked as an England man down inside the penalty area. Still Croatia have it. It's curled in by Rebic, headed away by Walker, who was the man who was down, got up onto his feet, headed it away, then went down again. Young plays it away. Dele Alli trying to reach it, but Croatia have got possession again and the whistle's gone, and the referee's talking to Young and Modric.
Well, Walker's still down and Kane's down as well, but Walker, was it the block what knocked him off his feet? Checking.
Oh, there's a VAR check for a possible penalty for a foul. They are checking.
That was on Rakitic for the rebound, wasn't it? I don't think you get that.
The video assistant referee has been consulted. This could be a Croatian penalty. It's Perisic who hit a shot.
That's why Kyle Walker's lying down.
He was hit amidships.
That's the pen he's after, I think. Not that.
When the ball bounced back to Perisic.
Perisic now goes for it.
What did Lingard foul Perisic? Well, the players are milling around. The check is over. Let's see if Sunit Chakir is going to be consulted. Kyle Walker is still down after receiving a ball in the nether regions and is struggling a little with that. Check's over. It looks as though it's not a penalty, so you can breathe easy. The pictures we saw weren't terribly clear, but of course VAR will have much better pictures than that, because there are over 35 cameras being used inside the stadium.
That was the first time we saw Modric really get involved in the final third, didn't he? Down there, lovely ball in the box, bit of a scramble, great block by Walker. Painful block for him, we know that, but anyway, they've cleared it, so just...
Croatia 0, England 1. Back down pitch side, Dion Dublin.
Wadler, you know, Modric is now breaking the lines, exactly what you said. He's now coming into the game. What he does, he gets in between the midfield and the defence. He finds a gap there, then he'll find a gap to the left hand side in between the centre half and the left side. He's just coming into the game. We don't want him to be controlling this game. That's when he gets dangerous.
England have got to be aware of that. It's the obvious threat. Here's Trippier though on the right hand side for England. Walker is back on the field now after receiving treatment. England are leading 1-0. Trippier lifts it into the penalty area on the right. Harry Kane drives it across. I think he was looking to win a corner from there. The defender was with him, but it didn't get a touch, so it is a goal kick to Croatia. So 606, join in tonight with World Cup 606. 08085 909 693. Text 85058. Get in touch and book your call at BBC 606 on social media. We are now into the final quarter of the match, or we will be in 10 seconds time from now, and England are winning 1-0. Vida, with a tall, lank ponytail, plays it towards Rakitic. Now Strinic, back to Rakitic again. Rakitic swings a pass out towards the right-hand side. England don't want to get Rakitic and Modric involved in the game. Versalco with the cross, and it's into the net! Rebic. Perisic has scored it. He stabbed it in with his left foot from just outside the 6-yard box. and it's 1-1, and it's come from nothing really. Ball into the penalty area, and Perisic got there ahead of Kyle Walker. Into the bottom corner it went, and it's Croatia 1, England 1.
I've got to say, John, it's a great ball in, and Perisic, he looks around Trippier. Kyle Walker doesn't see him coming, he gets his foot high, Kyle Walker goes to head it, sticks his left foot up high above Kyle Walker as he slips down to head it. Could have said it's dangerous play, I suppose, but Kyle Walker goes really low. It's a great ball in with pace. Kyle Walker just doesn't see him coming, sticks his left foot up, off the studs. Pickford, absolutely no chance. Bounces just in front of him, no chance. It's been coming the last 5-10 minutes.
Trevor Brooking.
Well, I was sitting here thinking, I don't know what the possession has been the last 10 minutes, but Croatia have totally dominated. They've gradually worn England down. We haven't had a lot of possession, and they were just biding their time. The cross came in. Yeah, the foot was a little bit high, but the goal was definitely coming in that direction. Now, England, we haven't strung a good spell of possession in this second half. We've got to now get our act together.
So Croatia 1, England 1. And now England with Sterling. Sterling plays it through towards Jesse Lingard. And the hope for England, I suppose the question will be, is perhaps to make a change, whether Gareth Southgate might be thinking about that. But 1-1, Perisic has just scored his second goal of this World Cup, scored the winner against Iceland in the group, and the ball's out of play for a throw-in to England in their own left-back position. Let's go down to Dion Dublin as well at pitch level.
You cannot give Rakitic that amount of space. The guy's an absolute dream of a player. He can pass it from the left wing over to the right wing, no problem at all. Vasalko didn't have to move. We didn't get out to him quick enough either to block the cross, and it was coming. You're right, so Trevor, you are bang on. We just taken our foot off the gas.
England though coming forward with Harry Kane, who drives a crossfield pass, but that's beyond the run down the right of Kieran Trippier, and England have been rocked by that, no question.
Yeah, well, they've come off the pace, haven't they? Let's be honest. And you know, 70 minutes now, and they have come off the pace. I think where Dele Alli and Lingard, well, wouldn't let Rakitic, Modric really get any time on the ball. They've started dictating the pace of the game, and they're 5-10 yards off them. Jordan Henderson's trying to push on now to Modric, but they're starting to take control in that midfield.
To worry for England. It's 1-1 now in the semi-final, and Strinic has Trippier all over him, and the two of them tangling, but referee Chakia says play on. Lingard back towards Stones, who will turn and play it back to Pickford. Took it on the outside of his boot. Mandzukic close too, but the England goalkeeper cleared it downfield. A little slip in centre field from Henderson, so Rakitic can play it over the top. Pickford's come, there's hesitation. It's cleared away by Stones. He's given it straight to Perisic, into the box, shooting across, hits the post, and the chance is not taken by Rebic. Centrally, it came to him quickly, and he just powder-puffed it goalwards, and that is a massive escape for England after Perisic's shot hit the post, and Rebic then couldn't convert the rebound.
They're dead on the feet, England, at the minute. The back three got no life about them. Trippier's still no right. The midfield's gone. I think Ali and Lingard's legs have gone. I just think they're feeling the pace, and he needs to get a couple of substitutions on and get the tempo back, because they're going to end up losing this.
They're going to make a change. Marcus Rashford is being prepared to come onto the field. That should have been 2-1 Croatia. Chance not taken. Two chances really. From our angle, it looked that Perisic's shot was certain to find the back of the net, but it hit the post. Here they come again. Croatia, this is dangerous. Cross from the right-hand side. Rakitic with a header, he could only nod it up in the air. And now back in his own penalty area, Dele Alli playing it to Young, and Dele Alli is then tripped. He's not tripped. It's not a free kick. Modric with the ball inside the penalty area on the right-hand side. Modric gives it back to the right flank. Rakitic is there as well. Rakitic back to Modric. Those two working together. That is a major worry for England. Still on the right-hand side with Croatia. And England chasing shadows at the moment. Modric finds his attempted ball infield, deflected by Ali, and we're going to see the England change now as they are defending this corner. No, they're not. They're not going to make the change just yet, and it's going to be Raheem Sterling who's coming off, you know. Corner to Croatia. It's 1-1 in the semi-final, and Croatia are right on top here. A short corner is taken, it's chipped across, and the header is won for England, but it comes out, and the shot driven with pace by Brozovic high over the crossbar for a goal
kick. You can sniff it, John, when teams have gone a bit, and Croatia know that. They're all over England, yeah, they're all over them like a rash. They just can't get out England, can't put two passes together. Yes, had to change it. Raheem Sterling's gone off the boil second half, not getting any service to chase on to really. So if he can change it, but it's all Croatia.
It's all Croatia, but the score is 1-1. So Sterling is off in the 74th minute, and Marcus Rashford is on to win his 24th cap. Rashford and Kane, and these are very, very anxious times for England. From a situation where England were, you're never going to be comfortable with a one-goal lead, but they were certainly confident, played well in the first half, but weren't able to find the second goal. However, here is the newly arrived Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side. Rashford turns, crosses right-footed. It's gone a long way. It's headed away by Vida. It comes out for Kyle Walker, who sprinted forward from the halfway line. Now Henderson. Henderson back centrally to Stones. Stones then to Maguire. England looking to find a foothold. Maybe Marcus Rashford can help them do that. Maguire carries it forward and then uses Young on the left-hand side. Lingard as well. Now back towards Henderson. Centre circle. Kyle Walker is there. Walker gets it back from Henderson, and England go back into their own half again. Maguire. Oh, passes the ball to Trippier, who was on his heels there, missed it completely. Throw in, taken up the left-hand side by Perisic, and Kyle Walker gets there first, ahead of Mandzukic. The ball's near the dead ball line, and all he can do is turn and clear it out of play, and now Perisic is motioning to all of those Croatia fans in red and white to raise the noise level behind the goal to our left. The ball onto the right-hand side. Vrsaljko, who crossed the ball when Perisic equalised. Now it's back into the box again. Stretch. The ball might fall to Perisic. No, it runs away from him inside the England box, and England are able to scrape it away. England are right up against it here. You feel that a second goal might be coming at any time for Croatia. Once again, it's Vrsaljko on the right-hand side. Vrsaljko chips it into the box. Modric challenges for it. It bounces down for Henderson, and Henderson now looks up, plays it downfield for Rashford. It's cleared away. Kane now for Rashford. Rashford is offside.
Yeah, he just went early, Rashford. He didn't need to go. He's got the legs on them two centre-halves. Went too early. Jordan Henderson should have played the first ball over the top. He tried to thread it through. Got cut out. It's all Croatia. Yeah, they've got a lease of life. Their energy levels have gone right up.
England have had 30% possession in the second half, I'm told. Croatia won, England won. 15 minutes of the 90 to play, and we're all square. We'll be heading for extra time if it stays like this. And we have seen England at this World Cup find new energy levels, as they did, remember, against Colombia. So much talk coming into this match as the ball is played forward. Pickford's come a long way, and he's caught it after it was driven forward by Rakitic. He caught it, one stride inside the penalty area when Rebic came across from the right. In fact, Perisic, I notice, has now come back to the left-hand side, and Rebic is out on the right flank. Perisic, the goal scorer for Croatia.
Should have scored again, hit the post.
And England with the ball halfway inside their own half. Croatia yet to make a substitution, but this 11 out there is doing just fine for them. Plays it. England played up towards Rashford. Vida comes across and heads it out of play. Throw in that Trippier will take to Harry Kane. Kane now to Lingard. Lingard drives it right across the face of goal, and it actually hasn't gone out of play yet. It's gone out now for a throw-in over on the far side.
Good base, Lingard, good energy. Nobody could get there quick enough though, could he? He's hit it really hard across that goal, and little bit of composure again. He didn't need to hit it when he did, and that second at least. Nobody's going to get near that.
1-1. Throw in to Croatia on that far side of the field. And England with Rashford. Now, ball played in field by Young. Rashford takes it on down the left-hand side. Rashford into the penalty area. Not much support. Plays it back to Kane. Kane, square to Henderson. Henderson now. His ball into the penalty area. Blocked by Vida. Then back to Henderson, who's rather snatches at a shot from 25 yards that whizzes high over the top of the bar.
Yeah, better attack. At least they've come back into the game. England moved it well. Jordan Henderson, as you say, snatches at it. Dion, how's the fans reacting?
Fans are, they're still here for us, Wanda. They're still trying to lift themselves up. what I did see though with the Waddle, I did see the fourth official go over to the substitutes there. Danny Rose and Eric Dyer getting a proper telling off. He was wagging his finger at the two of them as if to say, stay in your seat, stop appealing for everything, you're getting on my nerves. He had a good chat with them for about 30 seconds, and now they've sat down and calmed down, but he wasn't happy about something.
Perisic for Croatia was looking to, with the outside of his boot, swing it out to the right hand side to Rebic, but he got it all wrong and hit it straight through for a goal kick. So we're in the 79th minute, and Jordan Pickford with a goal kick that he's waiting to take, just seeing the chance that Rebic had, and he just scuffed the shot goalwards from 12 yards when he had the goal at his mercy. Pickford takes this goal kick. Pickford long down towards Harry Kane, who chests it down, plays it square. Dele Alli is there. Dele Alli slides a ball through into the penalty area. Rashford will do well to keep this in. He reached it, but he couldn't keep it in. It's a goal kick. Yeah.
A few tired legs. Key substitutions. Croatia haven't made one yet, have they? So
no. Let's bring Trevor Brooking in again. Trevor, anxious times.
I think England weathers the storm a bit last few minutes. I mean, by rights, we should have gone behind. We somehow clung on. Marcus Rashford made a difference since coming on.
Phil Jones is the
bit of pace and enables them to get out. But the difference in the second half was the back three that was so important in the first half suddenly lost their shape and lost the ability to bring the ball out. And that's why we squandered possession so often.
John Stones now with the ball inside the Croatia half, but put under pressure, can only concede a throw-in. The England supporters who are here, many of them behind Dion Dublin, down in the end to our right, are singing the anthem, and they are now trying to lift England in the same way the Croatia fans are lifting their team at the other end. But it's been Croatia's second half after it was England's first half. Lingard now back towards Trippier. Trippier turns. Oh, he's very nearly given it. Maguire plays it back. Maguire passes it straight out to Stones. And they knew Perisic was there. Perisic was almost onto that. It was. Now Lingard brings it forward. Lingard to the right-hand side to Rashford. England have bodies forward. Kane's in the box. Dele Alli's there. Rashford's cross is blocked, but Rashford will pick up possession again, unchallenged on the right. And Rashford passes it back towards Kyle Walker. Scary, scary moment for England at the back again there. Stones now out towards the left-hand side. Young, as he backpedals, can only head it through for a goal kick.
There's a lot of tired legs. Honestly, you've got to say, main games now, John. You know, you're feeling tired. Croatia's just come off the boil and they were flying for 15-20 minutes. They got the goal and just seeing a replay of that back pass. Oh, Kyle Walker fizzes it into Jordan Pickford, who just scuffs it away.
Could have gone anywhere. England were fortunate there. Another let-off. England are clinging on here. 1-1. And we've got 8 minutes plus added time to play. Goal kick. Croatia to take it. Subasic. Mandzukic now heads it forward near the halfway line. Stones to Henderson. Henderson. Now Walker. John Stones takes a touch and passes it all the way back to Pickford again. Succession of back passes to Jordan Pickford during the course of this match. Mandzukic heads it forward. Rakitic is going to try and take it on. Might have been tugged back by Lingard. No free kick. Now the cross from Perisic straight into the mid-riff of Pickford, who's able to take it under no particular pressure. So Pickford will underarm it out to Maguire. Now England playing it out from the back, but Jordan Henderson just lifts one through the middle, but Lovren should head away, which he does. Stretch from Dele Alli. Modric, though, takes it on. Modric out towards the right-hand side. He has Rebic if he wants to use him. Instead, Rebic makes a move infield, so Modric still in possession. Modric then uses Brozovic. Angle pass into the penalty area. Mandzukic chests it down, shoots from the angle, straight at Pickford, who's able to pat it down.
Brilliant football by Croatia. You've got to say the last half hour, Croatia.
Ball launched downfield, it's missed by Vida. Rashford after it, but Subasic has caught it.
20 minutes off. Croatia played some great football, haven't they? Carved some brilliant chances out. First half, they didn't get a kick.
But as Trevor Brooking said, and I think we all felt it, didn't we? When England were on top.
They had to come in. They've got too many good players not to.
Yeah. Here's Versalco on the right-hand side. England took the lead in the 5th minute, Croatia equalised in the 68th, and Croatia have had further chances not taken. Now the cross from the right-hand side from Rebic, it's gone a long way, it's headed back into the England 6-yard box. Pickford has missed it, and it's lifted over by Perisic from an angle. Pickford came, got a punch on it, punched it straight to Perisic, who didn't take the chance.
No, it was a hopeful ball, over-hit the far post, goes up the edge, it doesn't really get a good fist on it. It's a difficult skill, John, to be honest, to half-volley that into the goal. I know you'd class it as a chance, but that would have been a great bit of skill to put that in. Just saw Mandzukic chest and volley straight at Pickford.
Croatia 1, England 1. And at the moment, England would probably take extra time. Here's one for Kane. Rashford on the chase, but it's headed back to Subasic. And really Croatia look the more composed, they look the fresher. How much did we talk about Croatia being tired after their 2 penalty shootouts, their 2 sets of extra time? It's England who are chasing shadows here after they were much the fresher team for the first 45 minutes.
Do you think over the years, though, John, a lot of England teams have been like this?
Ball forward, that Maguire
we were like this a bit. You know, the last 15-20 minutes, we always seem to have run out of legs. And
Croatia with Modric. He's deep inside his own half here at the moment. Luka Modric hits the pass, a curling pass. It's cut out by Walker. And England with Lingard, who was challenged. Ball runs to the right-hand side to Trippier. It's a long pass forward towards Rashford. It bounces in the centre circle. Henderson has to turn. Henderson under pressure from Mandzukic. Maguire just rolls it to the left-hand side to Ashley Young. Young's pass forward. Harry Kane is challenged shoulder to shoulder by Dejan Lovren. Then Jordan Henderson is caught in possession. Modric and Croatia have the ball halfway inside their own half again and can begin again, and it's their supporters now who are twirling their red and white checkered scarves as Croatia move towards them. Strinic cutting in field. Strinic is still going on his right foot, though. He got it all wrong. And it was an awful pass.
That's
behind Perisic and out of play for a throw.
I've not been impressed with Strinic at right back, I've got to say, all this tournament. I thought he's been a sort of a weak player in this side. Great run, sloppy pass again.
Lines are open for 606 with Kelly Cades from Red Square on 08085 909 693, but it may not be until after extra time, possibly penalties. And Croatia are preparing to make what will be their first change, although it won't be imminent.
Warming up again.
Rashford now tangling for the balls, headed back. Rashford's on the chase here. Vida as well, and Vida just plonks it out of play over the advertising hoardings on the far side.
She didn't get a shout there.
No, Rashford takes a quick throw. Dele Alli, 1 goal now would probably put England in the final. Kane plays it across, it's gone a long way. It was behind Jesse Lingard. Trippier couldn't reach it, and it's through for a goal.
The one thing, if Lingard's got the energy, or Dele Alli, they're not tracking midfield. Modric and Brozovic, they're not tracking players, so if they've got the legs to run it, they need the pass obviously, but if they want to run off the bat, then they'll get in.
Daniel Subasic has just recovered the ball, probably from right under your nose, Dion.
Look at Modric. Look at Modric is free. He's the player you cannot have free at the moment. He's getting the ball. What he's doing, he's been really clever. Modric is keeping hold of the ball. He's waiting to be closed down, not by 1, but by 2. That leaves a Croatian player free. That's how Mandzukic just got in there with a nice flick of the outside of the boot. You've got to be clever now. You've got to be concentrating. You've got to keep the ball. You give the ball away far too easy. Croatia at the moment have got this in their hands to win.
We're in the 87th minute. It's Croatia 1, England 1. A goal now for either side would probably put that team in the World Cup final. And Jesse Lingard is pulled up for a foul on Strinic, and it's a free kick to Croatia in their own left-back position.
They're horrible ones, them, aren't they? When they're trying to watch the ball out, the body's in front, it's an obstruction really, but you never get it. Always get the free kick the other way.
Let's bring in Trevor Brooking as well for a thought as we head towards the finale of the 90 minutes. Trevor.
There are too many tired legs at the moment, and we're not keeping it long enough, and because we didn't have a lot of possession in that first 25 minutes of the second half, the legs have gone a bit, and probably if we do get into that extra time and another substitution now, which one will be the case. But at present, we just can't keep the ball long enough to trouble Croatia.
And it's Croatia with Rebic on the left-hand side, but he's swung it all the way across, and Modric can't reach that, and it bounces out of play for a throw-in to England. So we have 2 minutes plus added time to play. Then it will be extra time. Croatia 1, England 1. Young to take this throw. And John Stones has gone short, but Young's still holding the ball and takes the throw up the line. Glanced infield by Kane, but couldn't find Rashford, so Croatia back in possession. With Vida. Plays it to his left to Strinic. Croatia coming again. Vida goes to the right-hand side. That's where Vrsaljko takes the ball down on his right thigh. Perisic has gone out to the right-hand side again. Rebic is over on the left-hand side, so it's Perisic over there with Modric. Perisic infield. Brozovic now joins the attack. Back to the right. And Perisic. Modric. Back to Modric again, who now begins to track infield and plays it into the centre circle. And Vida helps it forward towards Rakitic. It's now on the left-hand side. Strinic is there. Strinic up against Trippier. Strinic with a cross. Hits Trippier. Bounces back to the Croatian left back. Rebic. Ball in field. Now to Brozovic. Then back to Strinic again. Strinic gets the ball under control. Uses Brozovic. Croatia absolutely dominating the possession here. England have everyone behind the ball. It's played square. Lovren is thinking about a shot. It was the wrong
I'm glad he did.
decision. He's blazed it over into those Croatian fans.
That's good news for England. That was good possession by, and that's what England should be doing, and they should have been doing that earlier in the game, keeping the ball, waiting for a right opportunity, waiting for an angle to get the ball into somebody.
Remember the Colombia game in the last 16 when it looked as though England were out on their feet?
Yeah, they come again, but I just can't see it, John. They really do look dead on the feet.
We've got 3 minutes of added time to play. Croatia 1, England 1. BBC Radio 5 Live. As Harry Kane flicks the header on down to the edge of the Croatian penalty area. Rashford actually has kept it in, and then it's slid out of play by Vida, who came across. So it's a throw-in for England in added time. England have already scored one added time winner at this World Cup, the first match against Tunisia. Trippier plays it to Rashford. Rashford brilliantly inside Rakitic and brought down. Free kick to England.
Chance, set piece. Here we go.
Dion will have a great view of this. Dion.
To put quality in the box, we really have. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm 20 yards, 30 yards away from the goal here to my right. You've got Harry Maguire, Stones on the far post with Dele Alli just in behind. Harry Kane has gone right outside the far post. Rashford at the near post. There's plenty of players in there. It's got to be quality though, Wadler. Got to be quality.
Yeah, but this is where Russia scored from. Equaliser, similar position.
Yeah, when they made it 2-2 late in extra time. Delivery from this sort of angle. Croatia have been susceptible from set pieces. We're in the second minute of added time in the semi-final. It's 1-1. Trippier plays it into the back post. It's headed down by Kane, but beyond the far post.
Chance. What a chance. I don't think he's got anybody near him, has he? He's headed it into the ground and wide.
Came at him quickly. There were a whole group of players there in front of Harry Kane.
Did you see it, Dion?
Yeah, listen. Of all the players you want that to fall to, of all the players, Harry Kane's at the far post. He's on his head. He might have been unsighted by the defender jumping in front of him, but he got good contact and he just put it wide. As soon as he headed it, Wadley, he put his head in his hands as if to say, I just didn't connect with it. That was a massive chance for us.
So it's still Croatia 1, England 1, and we are in the final minute of added time. England have survived some real scares here. They conceded the equaliser through Perisic in the 68th minute, but after that there was the Perisic shot that hit a post, the rebound that Rebic couldn't score from, the shot from Mandzukic, that other effort from Perisic as well, and really England from this position will gladly take extra time, but they're going to have to find something here. Only one substitution so far made by the two teams combined. That was Rashford on for Sterling. Croatia with the ball with Vrsaljko. Veselko's going with the ball, it's taken a deflection and it's headed away by Stones on the edge of the area, out to Rakitic. Now Modric plays it to the left hand side. Strinic has the option of playing it to the left hand side to Perisic on his right foot. Perisic's cross is blocked by Walker, rebounds into the centre circle. We've had the 3 minutes of added time and that's it, says referee Czechia. 1-1 and we will have extra time, and England here will have to regroup under Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland, who are deep in discussions together. England, it was their first half. They were winning 1-0 through Kieran Trippier's free kick, but Croatia have dominated the second half. Perisic equalised. Croatia won, England won after 90 minutes. Extra time to come.
Goodness me, Croatia have kept the ball well at times in that half, haven't they?
Well, what Modric has done, he's started drifting to that inside right position. Jordan Henderson can't get near him. Dele Alli's basically trying to attack as much as possible. They should have just latched onto them three midfield players for 20 minutes for me, Mark. They didn't. They tried to play their game. Modric just took control of the game. He's just dictated the last half hour of the football match.
Gareth Southgate is deep in conversation with John Stones at the moment. That's the first player that he's gone to. Sir Trevor Brooke here alongside me. They were watching Gareth's body language again. At one point he was sort of trying to tell the England back three to puff their chests up a bit and get a bit of belief back, because there was a period around the time Croatia scored, both before it and after it, where they seemed to be beset by panic, actually.
Well, they lost the ball a couple of times amongst the trio, and that suddenly sowed those seeds of doubt, and you know, we struggled, and none of the three were able really to get the shape going again. We weren't able to get a good spell of pressure in midfield. Then Modric and Rakitic that dominated, and whether you try and bring somebody else on to help Jordan, I didn't think Eric Dyer, it worked well in the last game, but I mean somebody like Delph who could, because those two at the moment are dominating the midfield, and we're not getting, I think Rashford could cause them problems with his pace, but we're not getting it up to him enough. And at the moment, you know, there's got to be some talking with Gareth and Steve to just, they're getting them round. We've got to stop the actual. I don't think it will get to penalties unless we suddenly, you know, get that possession back that we had in the first half.
There's one change being made. I don't know if you can see it through the bodies, Dion, but there is a substitutes board Danny in the middle of that camp, and Danny Rose is going to be coming on for Ashley Young. But you're down there, your pitch, and we're quite high up here, so when you're high up in a stadium you get a much more tactical view of the game. When you are pitch side like you are, or low down in a press box, you realise just how fast a game can be played. At your level, does it feel fast, or is it actually the way that Croatia are keeping the ball that is tiring England?
It's exactly that. Croatia are being incredibly clever. They're not being wasteful with the ball. They're getting the ball to Rakitic and Modric at every opportunity. The back three that they have, or back four they have, they're stretching the game, making England run into big areas, really tiring themselves out. I don't think it's a bad move to get Danny Rose on, but I'm again with Sir Trevor, get a midfield player on. Try and get hold of that ball in midfield, because that's where it's going to be won by one of those two players, either by a goal, Rakitic or Modric, a goal or another pass.
So is that a change of formation for you, or is that a midfielder to replace either Dele Alli or Jesse Lingard?
Yeah, I think you do need you need some fresh legs in there. Dele Alli looks out on his feet. He looks absolutely shattered. Every opportunity is stretching his hamstrings. We know he can have a goal in him, but he just doesn't look as sharp at the moment. Whereas with Rashford on now, you need somebody to get him behind. I think Rashford and Kane have got to play as a pair. Danny Rose will go up and down that left wing now, so fresh legs. We need some more fresh legs in midfield though, chappers.
He's done his sort of stick your chest out and breathe again side as Gareth Southgate when he was in the middle of the squad there. I wonder whether as well, Chris, I don't know whether you can see this, whether he's telling Maguire and he's telling Stones to go long if necessary and use the pace of Rashford.
Yeah, I think it is. I think he's a different player though from Sterling. Sterling was just playing high on the shoulder, and anything that hooked, he chased. Rashford sort of wanting to get involved with the game, so wherever the ball is, he's dropping in deep, he's trying to be a 10, and he's coming away with Harry Kane, who looks tired himself, Harry Kane. So I would agree. He allowed an extra sub as well now, because it's extra time, so he could even put two in midfield, take Lingard and put Loftus-Cheek on, and take Ali off and put Delph on.
strange, isn't it, Trevor? You know, in the build-up we spoke about how Croatia had gone to extra time against Denmark. They'd gone to extra time against Russia. Would England be fresher? Would Croatia be the more tired of the two? And they've grown and grown as that second half has gone on.
Yeah, but I think it was the fact that they kept the possession so well that just drained England. They sowed those seeds of doubt that the three at the back weren't able to keep it, weren't able to build up the players we'd done before. I mean, it'd be interesting to see who comes off, because they haven't had the ball up yet, has it? Because Danny, he has played midfield at times.
Ashley Young's definitely coming off.
Definitely. Yeah. All right. So then he will take the wing back. It'll give us shape going forward. I still think at some stage, Jordan Henderson's going to need some help in there. That's all.
The teams are back out for the start of extra time. 6:06 follows with Kelly. 08085 909 693. Ashley Young looks crestfallen as he comes off. He gives Danny Rose a hug, whispers something in his ear, and we are ready to go for another 30 minutes. Hold tight, John Murray.
Thanks, Mark. Croatia 1, England 1. Danny Rose is on. That's the second England change. Croatia haven't made one yet. So Danny Rose is on for Ashley Young. And Croatia, who have now gone to extra time in all three matches in the knockout stages, can't prevent the ball here. I thought it had been out for a corner, but it's been put out for a throw on the far side. Croatia still with Subasic in goal. Back four of Salko, Lovren, Vida and Strinic, with Brozovic, Modric and Rakitic in the middle, Rebic and Perisic and Mandzukic. And England in possession, Pickford in goal, Walker and Stones and Maguire, then Trippier and substitute Rose, Henderson, Lingard, Ali, substitute Rashford and Kane. It doesn't look good, I've got to be honest. From an England point of view, they have to find something here. 1-1 the score, first period of extra time. Rashford now with the ball on the right hand side. Rashford off with a run, but he's overrun it, and it's played all the way back to goalkeeper Subasic. In this first period of extra time, England are playing from right to left, so playing away from the bulk of their support, in the end down to our right, where all of the crosses of St George are. That's where the ball is now, with Pickford inside the England penalty area, plays it across to Walker. So half an hour to go, and Walker swings a long ball downfield. Chris Waddle.
It's a bit of main games now. It'll be all in the head. You're tired. It's funny, when you get the ball, the energy levels, when your team get the ball, the energy levels go up. When you lose it, you see a lot of players feeling tired.
Harry Maguire receives the ball and plays it to his right to John Stones. Stones and Pickford, the only two England players who've started all of England's matches at this World Cup. Both played by Lingard out to the right hand side. Trippier back to Walker and Henderson, and England looking to try and reassert a bit of authority in this match in terms of the possession, which they enjoyed in the first half, but then dominated by Croatia in the second period. Throw-in is taken. Rashford now back to Lingard, the two Manchester United men, but it breaks down, cleared away by Croatia. Comes out to Harry Maguire. Maguire might play it. He does to Dele Alli. Dele Alli now on the edge of the box, tried to play it square to Lingard, but played it into the path of Rakitic. And Croatia pass it away to Mandzukic, who can do nothing other than head it out towards Danny Rose, who's then shoved off the ball by Rebic.
Well,
throw into England, but it's a free kick.
Foul. It's a good start by England, actually. I think Croatia sort of, that break hasn't helped them. They've come off the pace, and there's a few players going down. Who's gone down now? It's Strinic has gone down on the far side. I think he's got a groin problem, or he's got cramp.
Yeah, we've got a stoppage, so Strinic is going to receive some treatment. By the way, Wimbledon coverage has continued on 5 Live Sports Extra, BBC Television, via the BBC Sport website. The news from there is that Rafa Nadal has beaten Juan Martín del Potro in the quarter-final in 5 sets. So Rafa Nadal is through, but Roger Federer, if you haven't heard, went out today. Our coverage will continue, of course, tomorrow. And Croatia are going to make a change, and it is Pivaric who's going to come on at left back to replace Strinic, who is the player who's down. So that is the first change that is being made by Croatia, and we'll have a lengthy stoppage here. So while they do that, let's get another thought from Dion Dublin, who's down behind the goal. Dion.
I'm actually stood next to a very kind cameraman, and I've just said to him, could you just get a close-up of Ashley Young for him, please? He sat on the bench, and I think he's got a big chunk of ice on his left ankle. It's been strapped really, really tightly on his left ankle, so it probably wasn't a tactical move. It's probably a move where Ashley Young needed to come off because he wasn't quite right. So yeah, he's got some ice. Just had it confirmed, he's got ice on his left ankle.
Well, he must be playing with a problem there, because if you remember, he did have ice on his ankle after the Colombia game.
Yep.
So that's obviously a concern, but Pivaric is now on to win his 23rd cap for Croatia, the Dinamo Kiev left back. Croatia won, England won. BBC Radio 5 Live. Henderson playing it through to Rashford, but Rashford was off balance, and Croatia have got it back, and Rashford has now blocked it out of play for a throw-in to Croatia on the far side. Yep, 5 Live. We also have all of the BBC local radio stations in England with us. You can listen via the BBC Sport app. The BBC World Service across Africa are with us, as are TSN in Canada. Eric Dyer's going to come on for England. Here's Danny Rose bringing the ball forward and running infield, and he's tripped blatantly by Rebic, who is now yellow carded after the case of mistaken identity earlier in the game. So it's a free kick to England in a central position, and England have a chance here to organise themselves and put pressure on Croatia with a set piece. Ball's been kicked away, I notice, by who's that standing in front of the ball? Is that Rakitic? They kicked it away, so England have to get the ball back. So England, this is very straight, the delivery here. It's directly forward of the centre circle by 8 or 9 yards. So Trippier will be looking to lift it over the top. Jesse Lingard is just trying to attract the attention of Gareth Southgate. I can see Eric Dyer down there receiving his instructions from Steve Holland in front of the England dugout. That change isn't going to be made just yet. It's 1-1. England with this free kick that Danny Rose and Kieran Trippier are over. Kyle Walker has come forward as well, and he's saying that in fact Trippier's going to play it in. Maguire looking to head it across, and the referee says there was a foul inside the Croatian box, and it's a free kick to them. Free kick to Croatia. And here's the change, and it is going to be Jordan Henderson coming off to be replaced by Eric Dyer. That is a surprise.
You could take your pick, but you just think you put him on defensively, take some good positions.
The point Trevor was making. Surprise, Trevor?
Do you remember he had a tight hamstring at the end? He didn't train the day after the last game, so going into extra time, I wouldn't think the hamstring's feeling that great. So I would have thought it was just to make sure that doesn't go in a straight swap.
So Eric Dyer on to win his 31st cap here in this World Cup semi-final, where it's Croatia 1, England 1. And in the stadium, you know, for anyone who has just switched on, who's wondering how it's going, looked so good until half-time, Chris, for England, but since then, really, now the strength, the power is all with Croatia.
Yeah, it always happens, but you know, certain games. But yeah, first half, England total control, 1-0 up. Couldn't see Croatia coming into the game, could you? Let's be honest.
Here's Danny Rose, though, receives it from Dele Alli down the left-hand side. Rose beats Versalco. Rose into the penalty area. It's very congested. Rose turns, plays it to Lingard in the D. He touches it back. Dyer hits the shot. It's deflected up and wide and behind. And suddenly there's a little bit of energy in that move for England.
Well, if subs there get involved, Danny Rose looks very fresh, doesn't he? Since he's come on, a couple of good runs down that left-hand side, and the shot's blocking again. We know how dangerous, we keep talking about it, but they are very effective at set pieces, England.
Corner, Trippier's going to take it from the right, so it'll be an out swinger. And England now with the conga style lineup. There are 5 of them there lining up behind the penalty spot. Referee Czechia comes across and says to a couple of the Croatian defenders who are looking after Marcus Rashford at the front of the line. So Rashford's at the front of the line. Let's see where they go. Harry Keane peels away. Here it is. It's headed onto the line and cleared off the line. John Stones with a header that was goal bound and was headed off the line, and it's still 1-1, and Lovren plays it away. And then there's a confrontation between Rashford and Versalco down next to the corner flag, and it's a free kick to Croatia. But the corner from Trippier, Stones with a header, and Versalco was in position.
That was in, because
a couple of yards off the line.
post. Would have hit inside the post and went in. That. It's a good way to score when you're tired.
Chance for England. This time the set piece doesn't come off, but so close. Versalco in just the right position to head it away. Still 1-1. BBC Radio 5 Live. Late in the evening now. First period of extra time, just after 11 o'clock local time. Free kick, England's way after that offside. Hit downfield towards Rashford, which is headed away. Two defenders with him, Lovren and Versalco. And then Brozovic plays it across to the newly arrived Pivaric. And Pivaric's pass is way beyond anyone in a black Croatia shirt.
Got to keep the ball. Croatia have now, but England have had a good first period of the second half. John Stones' chance out was that set piece, but they've had all the ball, England, in this first part of extra time.
I see that preparing to come on, scored against Russia in the previous round in the 2-2, former Leicester man, now at Hoffenheim. England having a better spell now, played forward for Lingard to hair after it down into the full-back position. Vida actually struggled to keep it in, but he did keep it in, did well. Now it's on the left-hand side with Perisic. Rebic making a run through the middle, but Perisic pulls the ball right across the halfway line towards Versalco. Versalco now. Rebic has gone down off the ball, and now on the ball, Rashford has fouled Versalco, and it's a free kick to Croatia here on the right. Rebic is not very happy. He feels he was caught off the ball by Maguire, and we're going to see Kramaric come onto the field very shortly, and he will take the place of Rebic, who is on that yellow card. So Kramaric will come on. Andrej Kramaric has played in a withdrawn position,
and I think they've started looking at who takes the pen's job.
We've played exactly 100 minutes of this World Cup semi-final. Rebic is cheered off the field. There's a little group actually of Croatia fans just behind the England dugout who are making themselves very obvious, I think, to the England bench down there. Free kick. Modric to take this in from the right. In fact, he plays it square, and it's lifted in by Brozovic. It's hit Rose, knocked him off his feet. Rose has stayed on the ground. Brozovic plays it into the penalty area. Kramaric now. Kramaric, left-footed ball, blocked by Dele Alli. England, everyone back defending here. Modric, misses it completely. Miskicked it and gave the ball straight to England, and Rashford running it away. Modric with a recovering tackle.
Recovery tackle, brilliant. 32-year-old, but what a good player he is.
Luka Modric, one of the players who know it's probably their last chance of a World Cup final. It's 1-1. It's BBC Radio 5 live from Moscow, and England with Lingard. Eric Dyer is there, and now back into John Stones in the middle of the England defence. Gareth Southgate in the blue shirt with the waistcoat stands still on the edge of the coaching area. It's been a tough ride this for him and for England since half-time, since the moment that Perisic scored the equaliser. But England have recovered a little bit of control in this first period of extra time. Harry Maguire's going to go on a wander, which he does halfway inside the Croatian half. Rose with a cross, which is headed away by Lovren out of the penalty area. Danny Rose is after it, but it's played back to Versalco, and Versalco now right-footed gives possession back to England. John Stones gave Eric Dyer a shout there. Stones passes it to Lingard in the orange boots. Now Harry Maguire on the left-hand side here wins a throw-in for England.
A lot of tired legs out there now, both teams. We thought England had gone last 20 minutes of the game, and we thought it got at least a life again, but Croatia are the ones who are feeling the pace.
Possibility that Croatia could be involved in a third consecutive penalty shootout. No team has won 3 penalty shootouts at a World Cup before. Ball with England and Kyle Walker on the far side. Walker plays it up towards Kane. Harry Kane, who had that chance with a header late in the 90 minutes, wasn't able to take advantage. Lingard very nearly gave it away. Fortunate that the ball bounced back to him. Here's Harry Maguire with some space on the left-hand side. Maguire with Rose down the line. Uses Rose. Rose goes for the early left-footed cross, which is headed away by Lovren. comes out to Modric. Modric with a little ball to Rakitic, but there's actually no one up front for Croatia, and Rakitic checking back was clipped by Kane, and it's a free kick to Croatia. 1-1 with just over a minute of the first period of extra time to play.
It's a bit of main games now, isn't it? Fatigue's definitely in on both sides, and nobody wants to make a mistake. I think that's why we're not seeing a great deal of chances. We're tired.
Well, in the Croatia-Russia game, we did have goals in extra time, didn't we? When Croatia went in front, but Russia made it 2-2. But here, Modric receives the ball on the halfway line and looks to curl a pass right-footed and forward, but Dele Alli came across in front of him and blocked it out for a throw-in. Throw-in that Vrsaljko will take. Vrsaljko gets it back. Eric Dyer comes across, and the ball is out of play for another throw-in. There's a little push by Vrsaljko on Dyer, but it's nothing serious. Throw by Vrsaljko, Kramaric, and then Danny Rose is able to get a foot in, play it towards Rashford, infield to Kane. Kane lifts a pass down the left-hand side, but Dele Alli won't reach that, and it's out of play for a throw-in. When England looked so good in those sort of positions in the first 45 minutes, but it's been disjointed for the most part since then when they've been coming forward. Brozovic now out to the left-hand side. 2 minutes of added time because of the stoppage for the injury to Strinic and the substitutions as well. So we are into the first minute of added time at the end of this first period of extra time. Modric plays it behind Vrsaljko, and it's out of play.
He's feeling the pace, Modric. He's just, as I say that, he goes and sprints off, but on the ball he's been sloppy the last 10 minutes.
Quick throw-in taken by England. Kane, that was an excellent looking pass towards Dele Alli, who's making out he was caught there. No free kick. Modric brings it forward. That's a lovely ball down the left-hand side by Modric. Perisic is onto this ball. England with players coming back. It's angled back. Kramaric with a shot. It's deflected. Back to Kramaric, who could then just spoon it forward, and England cleared it. And then two defenders went for the same ball for Croatia in the centre circle. Croatia showing there's still a little bit of life in them. On the left-hand side, overlapping run from Pivaric. Pivaric's cross, it's gone a long way. Modric peels away. Dele Alli got an important touch just as Modric was looking to volley that goalwards on the edge of the penalty area. But Croatia resumed possession again inside their own half.
It's a funny game to call this, John. All of a sudden Croatia look as if they're finished and the legs have gone, and then they all of a sudden they turn the volley up and away they go again.
Modric standing with his hands on his knees as Croatia attack again. Ball right across. Pickford with a crucial save. Absolutely crucial in the 6-yard box, with Mandzukic getting a touch. The cross, a low centre from the left-hand side, inviting for Mandzukic, and Pickford managed to get a block on it and deflect it behind for a corner. Dion Dublin.
Mandzukic actually, he thought he'd scored. He actually connected with it, absolutely spot on. Side foot, what a ball! That's the ball I was saying in the first half. In behind the defenders, they're absolutely shattered. All these 22 players are absolutely shattered. Jordan Pickford comes out, makes himself big, and it hits him on the right knee and goes over. That is one of the saves of the tournament. They should be 2-1 up. If it wasn't for Jordan Pickford, they would be. But Mandzukic is staying down, and he hasn't moved yet.
Perisic with the low cross, which
brilliant
was
ball. That was quality cross, that.
So Mandzukic is still on the ground. Let's bring in Trevor Brooking again. Almost half-time and extra time, Trevor.
Well, England had done okay in the opening half. They'd sort of steadied the ship, and then it was a great cross from Perisic, and certainly Pickford spread himself quite magnificently, and that was a big save just before the interval. I mean, if they'd have gone ahead, because the legs are really, really tired.
Really, you'd say if England went behind in extra time, you couldn't see them coming back.
Well, you never know, do you? Throw everything at it, you may get a break, but it's hard to call this game at the minute, because Croatia all of a sudden up the tempo, and you think, wow, they're going to win it, and then they sit off for the next 5 minutes.
It's a corner, and looks as though we are going to have time. After the Pickford save, Mandzukic has received lengthy treatment, so we've already had nearly 3.5 minutes of added time at the end of this first period of extra time. Set piece, England have got to defend it. It's taken short out on the far side. Modric, corner taker, gets it back. He's on his left foot. He's up against Trippier. Modric now goes for the byline, checks back onto his right foot. Trippier got a little touch in there on the ball. Still we play. There's the whistle for half-time in extra time, and it's Croatia 1, England 1, just as it was after 90 minutes.
And I'm watching Mandzukic as he comes back onto the pitch, and he is hobbling and holding his right knee, I think, at the moment, which came into contact after Pickford's save. What a save, Chris. What a save.
Brilliant. Well, he thought he'd scored. He did everything right, Mandzukic. Got there ahead of Stones, side foot volley. Maybe just hit the target he normally score. Pickford made himself big, and what a save at a vital time as well, because next goal is so important.
I know he had a couple of times in that first half of extra time where he fluffed his lines a little bit, Luka Modric, Trevor, but Modric, Rakitic and Brozovic have such a control, don't they, of that midfield?
Well, they're special players, Modric in particular, and when you think, I think it's coming up to 33, isn't he? I mean, his work rate has been magnificent, and his weight of pass is the thing. He just, it doesn't overhit it, it just runs it into the stride. It's interesting, England. I mean, I thought Danny Rose has done well as well with Rashford. Do you chance another sub? But then you got to think who might take the pens, and so would a Ruben Loftus-Cheek run with the ball in the last 15 minutes, to go past people? Because at present it's very evenly matched. I thought we were doing okay until that last chance, which sort of kept us level, but it's so finely balanced.
Kieran says, I'm proud of this England team no matter what. Legends will be coming home. Alma, it's too stressful. I'll go for a walk. Chris, I think our strikers lack a bit of confidence in finishing. Several times he should have taken a shot rather than seek the extra pass. Hasn't been Harry Kane's best day, has it, Dion?
No, it hasn't. He's done a lot of work in areas which is not a centre-forward area, so he has, again, another team performance from Harry Kane. Not the kind of performance I'd like to see him give, especially on this stage. We haven't created many chances for him, and when you get to this stage of the game and you're absolutely shattered, Chris will tell you this, just keep it 1 and 2 touch. It's an old phrase, but just keep the ball moving, make the ball do the work. Find good positions, pass to a teammate in the same colour shirt as you, and make the opposition run around. At the moment, Croatia are doing it to us.
One substitution still available to Gareth Southgate if he wants it. We are 15 minutes away from penalties in a semi-final at a major tournament involving England. I think that's probably been said before, John Murray.
Yep, it's looming on the horizon, which seems to be getting closer and closer all the time. Second half of extra time begins now. Croatia getting things underway. BBC Radio 5 Live. The score 1-1 in the semi-final. France will be enjoying this. These two teams playing a day later, going to extra time, possibly to penalties. Mind you, Croatia, having been to extra time in the last couple of matches and penalties, have responded extremely well. Subasic just clearing the ball away, which it bounces out of play for a throw near the halfway line. By the way, in case you're losing track, Croatia have still got 2 more substitutions they can make. England can make 1 more. Remember, there's the extra 1 in extra time. So England can still make 1 more change, as discussed by Mark Chapman and Trevor Brooking and Dion Dublin and Chris Waddle just now. Croatia 1, England 1. All of the English local radio stations are with us as well. World Service across Africa and TSN in Canada. Here come Croatia with the ball on the left-hand side, with Rakitic, whose cross is blocked out of play for a throw. 10 yards away from the corner flag. We know all about penalties. We talked about them ad infinitum before this World Cup, during the World Cup, and certainly after England were successful at the Spartak Stadium here in the Luzhniki in Moscow. It could be penalties again. Modric dropped a shoulder, looked all busy, then played it to Lovren near the halfway line. Lovren very casually turns, flicks it outside of his boot to Brozovic, now on the left-hand side with Pivaric. Again, this is Perisic now in control of the ball. Perisic cross comes off Lingard and fizzes straight behind for another corner to Croatia.
It's basically, where has the ball come to life? As soon as they lose it, the other team look as if they kind of walk, never mind run.
Corner from the left. Croatia have caused problems with the corners that they've had, sometimes taken them short. This one, Rakitic, will be delivered, although Brozovic makes a run into the box. Brozovic shoots just wide of the angle of post and bar.
Lingard switches off there, doesn't he? He falls asleep. He's watching the guy taking the corner and he's off Brozovic and he doesn't realise Lingard's let him go and tired legs, can't hit the target, high and wide.
It was wide by 3 yards.
Good corner though.
A good corner, but however, if they had scored from that corner, that would have been a terrible goal to concede. 1-1. Trippier lifts it forward left-footed. It's headed back into the England half, and so Croatia are back in possession. Here is Rakitic again. Rakitic is leaned into by John Stones, who came across and was able to slide it out of play for a throw-in. Throw-in taken quickly by Pivaric. Then into the centre circle. Lovren has Versalco available on the right-hand side. For a player who we thought was going to miss the match altogether, Versalco has done pretty well over on the right-hand side. Now it's on the left with Pivaric, whose ball into the penalty area is cut out by Kyle Walker. Bounces back into the box. Chance here. It's scored. It's 2-1 to Croatia. Mandzukic from the angle. England didn't clear it. It fell to Mandzukic. And in the second half of extra time, Croatia are in front for the first time in the semi-final. England will have to dig very deep now to reach the World Cup final. It's Croatia 2, England 1.
Well, they just switch off. Tired minds, tail legs have kicked off England. Can't do that. They've kicked off England trying to score a goal. But you just switch off. The defence is switched off. That ball comes back in. There's only one player reacts, and it's a Croatian player. Mandzukic just reacts. Comes back in, goes up in the air. Nothing looks a problem. It's just a simple header. John Stones switches off. Maguire switches off. And that is a simple goal. One player reacts. Mandzukic. Goal. This level, can't do that.
Croatia have scored in the 109th minute. So there are just over 10 minutes for England to respond here. Mandzukic is still celebrating. He had the chance. In the first period of extra time that was saved by Pickford. But this time Jordan Pickford, not even Jordan Pickford, the World Cup that he's had, could stop it. The shot from an angle across the goalkeeper and into the back of the net.
Now what you got left, John, now?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, you may as well get Welbeck on, or whoever. Get Welbeck on. Fresh legs, he can run with the ball, nothing to lose.
That's Chris Waddle. Let's bring in Trevor Brooking as well. Trevor?
It was a soft goal. I mean, you know, the header on the edge of the bit area, Kieran Trippier, very tired, he's made some great runs, didn't really challenge, so it was quite a solid header that went back into the penalty area, and you know, John Stones was coming out, didn't react. Harry Maguire couldn't get across, and Mandzukic just come between the two, and he slided it in well with his left foot. But yeah, Chris is right. You've got to bring on an extra striker now. You know, don't know what Vardy's like or whatever, but you need the second striker. Rashford could go then in, tucking in behind and try and use his pace. But at present, with the players out there, I'm not quite sure I see how we get the equaliser.
No, it's difficult to see it. It is very difficult to see it. With the match that has unfolded the way that we've watched it.
We're not controlling the midfield. Modric and Rakitic are running the show, so you might as well go for it. Go a bit more direct.
Croatia 2, England 1. Into the last 10 minutes, Kane flicks it on. Rashford's after it, but defenders are there, 2 and 3 of them, to clear it away. And they get it further away towards the halfway line. And we see the change that's going to be made by England. And it is Jamie Vardy who is being readied down there on the side of the pitch. So we will see that change immediately now. And it's going to be Kyle Walker, one of the 3 central defenders, makes way. And Jamie Vardy is ready to come on here. But Croatia will know all about Jamie Vardy and the threat and how that threat is posed by the Leicester City centre forward. So on he comes. And that is it. That's the final change that England can make. Croatia leading by 2-1. In this semi-final, England led for over an hour, but now Croatia in front. Ball played to Rashford. Rashford on the left-hand side, catches up with it, crosses it, but it's cleared at the near post. Ball still inside the penalty area. It's headed away, it comes out towards Harry Kane, but Luka Modric was there and able to touch it away from Harry Kane.
He's unbelievable, him.
Modric's ball forward. And I think that Perisic might have a problem. He's clutching his hamstring.
Yeah, Mandzukic.
Croatia.
Mandzukic is down. He's
down, but also over here Perisic is struggling as well. England coming forward, ball up towards Dele Alli, but Subasic is out of his 6-yard box to claw the ball down and land on it. So Mandzukic, the scorer of what might be the winning goal, the goal.
Cramp.
He's got cramp. Perisic is also coming across to speak to coach Dalic. Let's go down to Dion Dublin behind the goal. Dion.
Very clever Subasic there, just kicking the ball away, trying to make sure that there's 2 balls in play when this regains again, when it starts again. You've just got to admire Luka Modric, the way he just brushed Harry Kane aside there, and then he tried to play an outside of the right boot to get his teammate Perisic down the left wing. They're just using the ball better, Croatia. England aren't playing how they were in the first 25-30 minutes. I know they're out on their feet, but you have got to use it better when you've got it. They're just ringing this game. They're just ringing the throat of this game, Croatia. They really are.
7 minutes to play. Croatia leading England by 2-1 in extra time. And I see that the veteran, the former Tottenham and Manchester City man, veteran Chorluka, is waiting to come on. But here for Croatia, Pivaric does well, plays it up towards Kramaric. Now back towards Modric on the halfway line. Croatia look full of life. Modric plays a crossfield pass towards Rakitic, who touches it back to Vida. And now England can't get the ball off Croatia. It's played forward towards Kramaric. Perisic is telling him where he wants it. Kramaric is approaching the penalty area. Now Pivaric on the left-hand side. Pivaric back to Perisic, who shoots but miskicks it. It's deflected and the ball bounces away for a corner.
Down again.
Mandzukic is down
John,
again.
sub.
And it's Mandzukic who is going to be substituted. Mandzukic is another one, 32 years old. He might just have scored the goal that wins Croatia a place in the World Cup final. And Chorluka is going to come on to replace Mandzukic. And referee Czechia is running across there, but Mandzukic, I mean, he's hobbling so badly, it's going to take him some time to walk out of the penalty area and all the way to the halfway line. This may take some time. And there's an England man down there as well. Lingard, I think. No, it's not Lingard. Inside the 6-yard box. Kieran Trippier, I think it is, who's got a problem, so he's receiving some treatment. At least Mandzukic is now over halfway to the halfway line. So Chorluka, veteran Chorluka, another 32-year-old. Kieran Trippier still receiving treatment in the 6-yard box. Chorluka comes onto the field. Gareth Southgate has called across Jamie Vardy for some instructions because Trippier's still receiving treatment, and all the time that clock is ticking down. And in fact, I'm not sure Trippier's going to be able to continue.
He can't walk, can he? You know, he's trying to say, look, I want to play 3 up front. Look, he's telling Vardy to stay up front and Rashford to the left.
Trippier is... have taken a quick corner, and now it's curled in by Brozovic. It's been juggled by Pickford, but he managed to grab it at the second attempt under pressure from Vida.
Why does he just play advantage? He doesn't see his hands.
Free kick. 4 minutes to play, plus added time. Referee says the free kick was taken in the wrong place, frustratingly for England. So that's it for Trippier. Trippier is now being carried around the side of the pitch. England are going to have to play the remainder of this game with 10 men because they've made all 4 substitutions. They're 2-1 down. It looks like a vain hope now for England. The World Cup final against France on Sunday. It looks like it's going to be a 3rd, 4th place playoff against Belgium. But unless they can dig deep and find themselves a goal, Dele Alli has won a free kick.
This is the best bet of scoring, because in general play we're not great at anything, and we haven't for a long time.
But they've lost the free kick taker, Kieran Trippier, with an injury, and if England somehow manage to dig themselves out of this hole, it looks highly unlikely that Kieran Trippier would be fit for the final. But the final seems like a long way away.
Always a chance with a set piece. Always a chance.
Chance for England. Let's see where That man Harry Maguire is at the back post. Kane is there as well. Stones, Dele Alli. Rashford is going to be the man that will deliver it. Big moment this. England might not have a better chance in the remainder of this semi-final to equalise than this one. Rashford plays it in, gives it good drift. Maguire's up after it, but was challenged and the ball bounces behind. And England are saying that was a corner.
I thought it was as well. But
and the referee actually is motioning here.
Dion, what is it?
That's a corner. 100% corner, flicked on by a defender. 100% corner. Referee's got that one wrong.
Yeah, well done, mate. Yeah, I've just saw on the replay.
The referee is saying we're going to have this final change for Croatia, and coming on for Croatia is the holding midfielder Milan Badel from Fiorentina, and he's going to replace Luka Modric, who is given such an ovation by those Croatia supporters.
Rightly so. What a player he is. 32. I think he should turn them numbers round.
Looks as though he's going to be taking Croatia to a World Cup final. Off he comes, and we have 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes to play. Goal kick for Croatia. Subasic hits it high and long downfield. Eric Dyer heads it forward. England, remember, playing with 10 men now after Trippier had to go off injured when all 4 changes had been made. Dyer back to Pickford. Pickford drives it long and left-footed up towards Vardy, who challenges for it in the air. Bounces down for Chorluka. Harry Maguire will find the ball at his feet. Time is very quickly running out for England. Maguire plays it to Stones. Stones goes all the way back to Pickford. Pickford takes a touch, passes it out here to the right-hand side to Dyer. Ball still halfway inside the England half. Dyer, long ball from him downfield, which is won in the air by Vardy, but the ball falls to the feet of Croatia. Rakitic now challenges for it. A stretch from Maguire. Maguire wins the ball. Maguire steps forward. He's tripped by Chorluka. Referee says no, he wasn't. He just fell over Maguire. And therefore England are stretched now. But Croatia, I'm not sure they'll want to commit themselves with a 2-1 lead at this stage. Kramaric actually plays it back into his own half. Chorluka got a touch. Oh, and now a chance here. But the shot is wide into the side netting from Kramaric.
He could have crossed it. He could have squared it. There was a tap in at the far post on his left-hand side. He didn't do nothing, did he? His shot was weak. Nothing. Waste.
We are in the 120th minute. England just need to try and come up with one final chance. It's looking like a tall order. Lingard. Now Stones. Rose on the left-hand side. Rose has Dele Alli available. Rose tries to go around the outside. Rose gets the ball across, but it's cleared away. We're going to have 4 minutes of added time, so still 4 minutes to play. England hopeful of one more chance, maybe one more set piece to deliver into the Croatia penalty area. The ball currently in the centre circle though. England with Stones. Jesse Lingard in a very deep lying position. England have to go for it. It's passed forward by Dyer to Stones. Stones now passes the ball out to the right hand side to Rashford. Rashford in danger of losing it to Pivaric. The touch was too heavy from Rashford, and Pivaric is going to drive away over the halfway line for Croatia. A little ball to Brozovic, and now Perisic with a touch. The captaincy's been taken on by Rakitic, who takes the ball on, but then he's impeded, and there's some pushing and shoving. Dele Alli and Rakitic are involved together. The referee's actually gone across and stood in between the two of them. Free kick's taken quickly by England.
The clock's ticking.
Free kick is taken. Referee's brought it back. Lingard now from deep inside his own half. We've already had almost a minute and a half of the 4 minutes of added time. Maguire, Croatia leading by 2-1 deep in extra time. Long ball forward, but Subasic, that's easy for him. Out of his 6-yard box and is able to catch the ball high above the head of Harry Kane.
Yeah, you've got to put a better angle in that. You've got to get it wide out to get that ball in the box a bit. Easy for Croatia, that waste.
Subasic launches one downfield. Dyer moves across, heads it back into Croatian territory. Vardy, though, with the challenge, an illegal one on Rakitic, who is caught and is down lying on his back, holding his face. There wasn't too much in it, but he, as probably 99% of players, is staying down and looking to use up a bit of the remaining couple of minutes that are left.
Well, they're very experienced players. They play at big clubs, Rakitic and Modric in particular. They know how to win games, manage games, run the clock down. They know every trick in the book. They've been around a long time.
Rakitic climbs to his feet. 5 live. There will be a 606 to follow. 08 085 909 693. It looks as though sorrows are going to be drowned for England as Pivaric crosses from the left-hand side straight into the gloves of Pickford. We're in the 3rd minute of added time. If it's going to come, it's going to come very late, and it would also require penalties because England are 2-1 down. Need an equaliser to take this to penalties. 606 standing by to take your calls. We'll also have the interviews from down in the tunnel from Gareth Southgate and the England players with the full story of how they see it. You'll hear that on the podcast in the morning as well. But England, one final chance perhaps. Kane gives it to Dele Alli. Dele Alli hits it forward, it's blocked, and handball is given England's way, and there is a set piece in the 4th minute of added time. A chance from 30 yards, 35 yards to deliver the ball into the box.
Yeah, it is a handball given. Yes, 2 hands up, it's hit him. This is it. This is the chance you got. That is it.
This is it. This is it, Trevor. This is it.
It is. I mean, if they don't get that magical equaliser, it's all down to the midfield, to be fair. The quality of the midfield, Croatia.
Different class on it.
For the last sort of 45, 60 minutes, they've been outstanding.
The 4 minutes are up, the 4 minutes of added time. This is going to be the last action of the match in front of all of those England fans who've travelled to Moscow to watch it. England's first semi-final at a World Cup for 28 years. They're going out unless they can score as a result of this free kick that Rashford plays in, and it's headed away for Croatia. It's headed away to safety. It's played forward, and the final whistle goes in the Luzhniki Stadium. Croatia have come from behind to beat England. It's semi-final disappointment for England in the World Cup here in Russia, and the players drop to their knees. Shattered and beaten. And Croatia, their players sprint down the field to their supporters. This new country, really, only won independence at the start of the 90s. This country of 4 million people will play in a World Cup final on Sunday here in this stadium against France. But England, so positive at half-time, and it's semi-final disappointment again.
Well, I've got to say, coming to this game, we said the World Cup starts here. We've had a nice run to this round. In the first half, I thought, yeah, we should be here. We look in that place. Well, excellent first half, really good first half, and I don't know what happened half time. Early in the second half, the legs went a bit, and Croatia, give them credit. They've come back and they've dominated this game, and people like Modric, absolutely different class. But it's great experience for this team. They've had a great run, but Croatia, just too much experience.
Much more reaction to come. The England players now, as Croatia celebrate in front of their supporters. Gareth Southgate is there. I can see him being embraced and embracing the players, and the England players consoling one another and going towards the supporters. Not England's night. Croatia 2, England 1 after extra time.
They've picked each other up off their knees. Marcus Rashford looks the most distraught at the moment. Gareth Southgate has gone to give him a big hug, and Dion now, as a group, they are standing either on the edge of the 18-yard box or on the penalty spot, and they are applauding those England fans behind behind that goal, behind you, and they are applauding those England players back. And there is no one on their knees now. There are plenty of players being hugged, and Gareth Southgate is consoling the ones that he needs to console. But there is nothing but respect and admiration from the fans to the players and the management staff, and from the players and the management staff back to the fans.
No, it's this group of players in front of me. They're 50 yards away from me. They're stood there. I can see their faces, all their faces. They're all wiping tears out of their eyes. Jordan Pickford there getting a hug from Gareth Southgate. These fans know that Gareth Southgate he's started something now with this team. He started something very special with a group of young players that have given everything. John Stones, I can see John Stones there, he's got tears coming out of his eyes. There's a mutual respect here, fans and players together as a nation. We've got to a semi-final of the World Cup. Fully deserved to get there. But on the day, the intelligent football, knowing how to win a football match, knowing how to keep a lead, was won by Croatia, and it was won by Luka Modric and Rakitic. The intelligence of those two players got Croatia over the line today.
Harry Kane stands alone from the rest of the players just outside the D, looking at the fans and trying to take it all in. Marcus Rashford again just to the side of that group of players, buries his face in his white England shirt. Ashley Young is crouched down on his haunches. Dele Alli bent over. There are tears in most of those players' eyes, Chris Waddle.
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling, especially when they had the lead. First half, I've got to say, I was quite impressed. I thought, I knew Croatia would be a hard game, and it made them look very ordinary first half, but the game's about 90 minutes, and in this case 120, so their experience came through, their ability to find space, use the ball better, and I don't think you can argue with the final result, I've got to say. I think Croatia, over the course of that whole game, were the better team. England first half, definitely, and after that I thought Croatia were the better side, and they got the result.
At the final whistle, Gareth Southgate came out to the edge of his technical area. The Croatian substitutes and coaching staff raced off the bench to join the players who were still on the field. And Gareth paused, he looked for Zlatko Dalic, the Croatian head coach, and he motioned to go towards Dalic to try and shake his hand, and then Dalic was engulfed by his backroom staff and dragged off to join the celebrations. And still Gareth watched where Dalic was going because he wanted to shake his hand, and in the end he couldn't get near Dalic, and so he went off to console his own players. And as Chris says, Trevor, sometimes you hold your hands up, don't you? You go, do you know, the better players had an effect when it mattered. And from half-time through to full-time and extra time, bar a 5 or 10 minute period at the start of extra time, Modric, Rakitic had that game by the throat.
Yeah, I mean, the young group of England have done themselves proud. Fans are applauding them. They've, enjoyed what's happened, and you can see the encouragement going forward. I think the first half, to be honest, Mark, if they could have got the second goal, they played well enough. They had chances, good enough chances to go in 2-0. Once it was 1-0, you thought Croatia would be better. They were. The midfield players in particular were outstanding. And if you look at Croatia and their age, this was the year this group had to win something. They've been knocking on the door, and they're a talented group, and they themselves at half-time must have said, look, we got to sort ourselves out here, or this is it for us as a group. And they did sort themselves out, and England just didn't have the answers. It'll come, and other players will come in, younger ones, so they've had a great experience, and they will only be better for it. But as Chris said as well, I think in the end the right side will be playing France in the final.
The England players are still standing in front of the England fans, and the fans are not going anywhere either. They are singing and dancing, and Gareth Southgate now goes over. He gives Dejan Lovren a big hug. He shakes Dalic's hand as well, and he's waiting actually in the Croatian half to congratulate the Croatian players. He's a class act, Chris. He really is. Gareth, he is a class act.
Yeah, he's got a lot of respect. He's level-headed. Listen, if he's honest, he'll say, we know what we've just said. He will say, he's not going to beat about the bush and say, I can't believe we lost it. Yeah, Trevor's right. They take them couple of chances Harry Kane had. to put one of them in 2-0, I can't see Croatia coming back. They looked tired at the start of the game, but somehow they found space in England, or the team were tired, and Croatia used all their experience and their technical ability. They've got some really good players, by the way. Got themselves back in the game, and you could only see one winner.
Those fans behind you, Dean, are remarkable, aren't they?
They've sang all the way through this game, chappers. They've just been singing There's Only One Gareth Southgate. That, to me, just sums up the manager, sums up what he's done for England. He's broke down barriers, he's brought us all together, and these fans have respected what he's done, and they like what he's going to be doing going forward as well. Yeah, they've been great. This whole stand behind me, lower tier, upper tier, is all England fans, and it's just been an amazing atmosphere. It's been amazing to be a part of as well, I've got to say, being so close to the game, being so close to the fans, and then seeing the faces of the players and what it means to them. Tears coming down grown men's eyes because they wanted to get to that final so much. On the other hand, chappers, what the Waddler said is bang on. If you were to judge this game, if it was a boxing match, Croatia would have won this one.
A few of those England players don't want to actually leave. Harry Maguire, Jesse Lingard, John Stones, Dele Alli, they'll be the last ones off. Gareth Southgate has just shaken the hand of Luka Modric. He's also just shaken the hand of Ivan Rakitic, who appears to be just in his boxer shorts now. He appears to have lost all his kit down below us, and the final few England players are starting to make their way off. Dejan Lovren and Harry Maguire at the moment just shaking hands, and actually Lovren is waiting to shake the hands of all the England players as they make their way towards the tunnel, and he gives Jordan Henderson a huge hug, and Henderson hugs him back. And Harry Kane is still doing TV interviews down there, and we'll bring you plenty of reaction from here in the Luzhniki Stadium throughout the evening. We'll do it during 6:06, and we'll do it on the World Cup Daily podcast as well, which you'll be able to download a little bit later on. Still the stadium half full, I would say. Croatian fans celebrating away to our left, stoic England fans away to our right. And the last thing, Chris Waddle, you want to do now is play another game, and that's what England are going to have to do on Saturday against Belgium.
Well, give everybody, I'm a great believer, give everybody a game. I know people might say it's third. To be honest, whoever looks at third and fourth, I don't know why they don't put this game into touch. You speak to players, I don't know anybody who's ever wanted to play in this game, and they have it, and just give them both bronze medals and say you've finished that and send them home. They just want to go home now. This is the biggest disappointment they'll get. Just want to go home. Go back, have your holiday, go back to your club.
Chris, for the moment, thank you, and Trevor and Dion will have plenty of reaction on the World Cup Daily podcast, which you'll be able to download later. You can still subscribe to it, although if you haven't by now, I doubt that you really want to. We've got about 3 or 4 left to go. We'll record all of that. The lines are open, though, to talk to Kelly in 606 08085 909 693. Just not quite far enough have England gone tonight, Kelly.
Mark, thank you very much. Yes, England out of the World Cup, beaten 2-1 on the night by Croatia. It means they will have to go into that third, fourth place, playoff place. But we're here to take your calls on 606.
Are you ready to have your say in the UK's biggest football debate? Your teams, your views. Get ready. This is 606 on BBC 5 Live.
Chris Waddle is here on 606 to take your calls through to 10:31. We will be joined by John Motson to put this into perspective. Chris, what do you make of this campaign for England?
It's been a massive plus, Kelly. You know, at the end of the day, when we came out, I was one as well who said if we could get the quarterfinals, what a great achievement that would be. When you looked at some of the teams what were coming at this tournament, you know, Germany and Spain and Brazil and all the team, Belgium and obviously Croatia, we thought if we get the quarters we'll have had a right ride and learn from you know, it's something to build on. But to get the semis yesterday, and everybody will say, look, it's the first good side we've come up against, and they showed their quality after 50 minutes. They showed what they were all about. They're no mugsies, they're an old team. It's their last chance to win a tournament, so I think they've done well. Proud, I'm really pleased. I just hope though, Kelly, that we don't go like we did after 90, where you thought, this is it, this is the start, we're going to kick on now, we're going to be in every talk, we're going to move on and move on. We didn't. We went backwards for a long period. 96 Euros was good. Apart from that, we've always huffed and puffed. We need to kick on now and get better. So we'll go to the next tournament, not semi-finalists, finalists. Going to win it. We've got to grow on this now.
How do they do that, Chris? How do they make sure that this squad of players has a bright future?
Well, what you've got now, obviously the 17s, 18s, 19s, 20s. We know it's a big jump from that junior football under 20s to the so-called full international. We know it's a massive step for some of them, and we've seen some prospects over the year where we've thought, he looks good, never made it, disappeared, never heard of them. What happened to them? We've got to make sure we get the production, keep these academies going, get these production lines going. Obviously they've spent fortunes on St George's and everything what goes with it. Make sure now it doesn't say, well, that was nearly, we may go again in 28 years time and get to a semi. No, we have got to spend, keep investing. We've got the money, get the coaches in, get the players right, find some more skillful players. We need creative players, get that going, keep investing, and it'll come.
If you are trying to get in touch with us, the lines are all full, so keep trying. We will get to your call, but it's really, really busy. We want to know what you made of the game, what you made of England in this tournament, which players impressed you, and of course we want to hear your views on Gareth Southgate. These are all the ways you can get in touch.
This is BBC 5 Live. Call free 08085 909 693. Text 85058. Text will be charged at your standard message rate. Plus, see our privacy notice. bbc.co.uk/5 Live.
Well, let's start by talking to Chris, who's on the line, to talk about the positives from the performance or from the tournament, Chris?
I think in both, because if you'd asked any England fan, they would have took semi-final. Okay, they haven't quite got there, but this has got to be a turning point. There's mass positives. Trippier, just the whole make-up of him and how he played, I think was excellent. Henderson, yeah, okay, brilliant. I think it's just everybody's got to take the positive out of this now. We didn't make it, but still another game to watch. I'm an England fan, so yeah, another game to watch on Saturday, which I think is brilliant.
Chris Waddle, who impressed you in the tournament? Now, obviously, you've just mentioned Trippier, but who else do you think? And obviously, we fell a little bit short tonight. We came up against an experienced class side. Good experience for these lads. We've got to move on now. But what do you think we're short of to make we're a better side or a team that would have won this game?
Well, look, in the first half, we had chances to score 2. If that had gone in, I think we would have been away with it. So, okay, it was just one of these things. Okay, England, yeah, they never usually do well, but this is just, hopefully, the positives are everyone goes on from this, but I think probably Maguire has surprised me. Stones, I think he could be your linchpin for years to come.
Do you think we're short, Chris? Do you think we're short? Do you think we're short of a Modric, top class creative player?
Yeah, well, look, you got Foden at Man City. I'm a Man United fan, but you got Foden at Man City coming in. Just hopefully, you've got Sessegnon coming in. Hopefully from Fulham. There's the depth there now. I think in the mid. To look like the FA is getting the depth for years to come, when they come home, it's going to be wild. There's no way anybody should be shouting back at them, the press and everything. They should all be positives, because I think it's done brilliant for the country.
I think that'll happen, Chris. I think that'll happen. I think they've been a breath of fresh air. These, Gareth Southgate's been top draw, handled the media very, very well, handled the fans. He's united the fans again with the team, the squad. The squad's been excellent. They've communicated with everybody, and hopefully, as I say, we don't lie back and rest on this. We kick on now and make sure the next tournament we go there and we've got a right good chance of winning it.
Chris, thank you very much for your call. Chris Waddle, who's impressed you here?
I've got to say, Trippier's been excellent. I've got to say, Kyle Walker's good at that. The 3 centre-halves have done really well. They fell asleep tonight with that goal from Mandzukic. That's experience, I suppose. Pickford's growing the competition, got better as he went on. I think Rose will come into that left side now for Ashley Young. I still think Kelly, Jordan Henderson did a good job. He's fitted in well. I'm not sure about Lingard and Dele Alli. I think we need a more a creative player, somebody who can drive with the ball, pick it up, do things with it, see passes all over the park. A real creative player we need, and we've got to find one of them. Sterling's got his critics, hasn't got his critics, doesn't score, doesn't do this, doesn't end product, but he upsets teams because of his pace, so he's always a question mark, always will be. Harry Kane, for all he scored goals, was quite quiet the last couple of games, I thought. Looked a bit leggy, so but fair play to them. They've come here and nobody gave them a chance, and alright, we've rode, we're looking to draw and got through so far, but when you come up, I said the tournament started from here, Kelly, today for me, and they've come up against a team who know how to win games, not on just 90 minutes, at 120 minutes. They know how to win games.
Let's bring in Bavesh now. Bavesh, as Chris said, they've come up short today against Croatia, probably the strongest side, definitely the strongest side that they've faced so far in this competition. What do you take from this tournament, though, for the future for England?
Well, a medal placed in a World Cup final for England after all these years of not so good performances. I think prior to the tournament, I would have bitten anyone's hand off to give me that, or any England fan would have said, yeah, of course, straight away. I think in the future, just like Chris emphasised, we need creative players. I think an Adam Lallana, a Jack Wilshere on the ball would have caused Croatia a lot more problems in midfield had we just fed him, and a lot more service to Harry Kane, who I didn't think got enough of the ball.